longer-term narrative. I'm not even sure, we've seen any of the AI capabilities kind of bleed into the sector yet, but certainly long-term, it's going to have an impact. And, if you want to have a long-term view on biotech because you think AI is going to be, very significant as far as it, interfaces with the industry, I think that's the right call.
Well, give me more. I mean, there were some patent expirations. Is there a tipping point coming with some of the dues that we've paid in basic science research over the last 10 years, and we're going to start to see, like a quantum leap in drugs that are being developed, or that are being developed?
Well, I mean, there are so many different factors. A lot of the clinical data that we've seen lately out of this industry has been positive. There's obviously an element of luck to it too. I mean, this stuff comes and goes, but I think as the data capabilities get better, that should probably help with respect to what we see out of trials. And I think, like you mentioned, the pharmaceutical industry still has to face loss of exclusivity. There's pricing pressure coming from a variety of avenues here. And so, part of what makes biotech interesting, I think, to a lot of investors is that the large cap pharma companies will continue to kind of dive in here. And there's a huge M&A trade going on here as well.
Kind of incredible. I'm trying to figure out, I think, Jared, whether these are going to be really attractive to major pharma companies too. Is there any M&A potential that has some fluff in these stocks right now? Is there any premiums in here based on being bought by someone? And the other thing, I mean, RFK and some of the moves that we've seen in Sarepta, that mess that we went through, doesn't seem like necessarily a golden age of some of this stuff, does it? Couldn't it be impacted by some of the moves that RFK's HHS makes?
Yeah, I mean, a golden age, I'd be hesitant to call it that. We've seen a lot of some of the risk factors from RFK already. I mean, when he came into power, the sector traded down immediately. And I think it's just taken some time to get, the biotech sector to thaw out a little bit, from some of the noise and the hysteria that was made, especially over vaccines. I think if you want to be a little bit more positive on biotech broadly, so much of the RFK rhetoric has squarely been on vaccines and not much else. To me, the Sarepta issue was more of a one-off. It's been a very controversial stock, a very controversial company. And so I think they're trying to get their footing now. As far as M&A, yes, there's M&A premium here. We're headed towards what could be the most significant M&A year yet. We're kind of, annualizing towards 20 transactions just in the public domain north of 500 million. So we're there. Like, I think everything is kind of kicked into another gear here. But I think as far as like the broader industry is concerned, a lot of the trends sort of hold into 2026.
All right, Jared. You know why they call it news? Because it keeps happening and then it becomes new and we got to go. Jared Holtz, Mizuho, thank you. And here we do have some news out of Washington. We're going back to Eamon Javers. That phone call is done.
Yeah, that's right, Joe. We were just talking about it, and now we have the update from the President of the United States on social media, posting a lengthy, detailed account of his conversation with Vladimir Putin of Russia. I want to direct your attention here to the end of that social media post, because I think that's where the news is. He says that we spent a great deal of time talking about trade between Russia and the United States when the war with Ukraine is over. At the conclusion of the call, we agreed that there will be a meeting of our high-level advisors next week. The United States' initial meetings will be led by Secretary of State Marco Rubio, together with various other people to be designated. A meeting location is to be determined. He then says President Putin and I will then meet in an agreed-upon location, Budapest, Hungary, to see if we can bring this inglorious war between Russia and Ukraine to an end. President Zelensky and I will be meeting tomorrow in the Oval Office, where we will discuss my conversation with President Putin and much more. I believe great progress was made with today's telephone conversation. So the news here is that there's going to be a high-level meeting of advisors. That is at a location TBD next week, led by Marco Rubio, and then a potential additional Trump-Putin face-to-face meeting in Hungary Joe. And you remember, of course, the last Trump-Putin meeting in Alaska. The president emerged from that frustrated with Vladimir Putin, even though he gave him a ride in the Beast in the presidential limo. He flew over the B-2 bombers, a whole lot of pomp and circumstance there for the Putin meeting in Alaska. The president emerged from that expressing some frustration that he can't get Vladimir Putin to move on the issue of Ukraine. In recent days, he has said that he feels that Putin simply just doesn't want to give up this war, doesn't want to stop fighting. Something has changed here in this phone call, or at least in the diplomatic maneuvering here, because they are scheduling a meeting, and it does look like we'll have another presidential face-to-face. So does that indicate an opening for progress in settling that conflict? As always, TBD, but clearly the president is encouraged by what he heard on that call with Vladimir Putin today. Joe.
Well, we'll see whether, we have the most drone attacks since the beginning of the war, like tonight, which is sort of what happened last time, right? And then right after that meeting, it was like almost disrespectful, I thought.
And you wonder, Joe, whether this is Putin trying to get inside the decision loop on the Tomahawks, right? Trying to get in front of President Trump before Zelensky can, to request the Tomahawks before those Tomahawks have been authorized. And now you put this potential meeting, potential big set piece in Hungary on the table. Now the question is, does the United States want to destabilize that potential meeting by authorizing these Tomahawks? Or is this
I don't know, Vladimir, the other Vladimir is going to call me. Whichever Vladimir tells me peace first, I'm giving him Tomahawks. If you don't want me to give Vladimir's Tomahawks, you gotta stop the war.
To give the Tomahawks.
I don't know, Vladimir, if whichever Vladimir comes to me first. That's all. I can't, it's out of my hands. If he gets there too quick, I can't. Once I say yes,
let us know.
You know Nancy.
That's all we do these days.
You know them. Vladimir.
When he posts.
That's all. I'll try.
All right. Aben?
Come on, even the news knows. I gave you a ride.
Coming up, an inside
I
look
put
at
you
the
in the
Middle East,
Beast.
a growing role in financing the AI build-out, and why the White House has become...
I'm glad everybody recognized that, though. You know what I'm saying? I'm glad I'm not the only one who's like, what the fuck? You gave him a ride in the limo and you still pulled that shit? That's a valuable experience. Come on, Vladimir, both of y'all. The reverse repo at 6.9 bill. Oh shit, I just did now. Dude, holy fuck. It's about to go negative. Yeah, dude, this is not normal. Or it depends on your definition of normal. Wow. This will be fun. Thank you for your attention to this matter.
Glad Vlad.
Oh. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and gals, it's time for your Philo. So, I feel like if I have to explain Philo to you, you also gonna tell me you want a delay even if you ahead of the whole entire world. You know that? You are ahead of people who will charge money for this shit. That is your punishment. You fucking... And again, most of the people, imagine, who have given me shit and have tried to make this community hard. Why? Because I believe in Jesus Christ. I help people out for free. I want them to make money. I give them honest advice. We don't hurt anybody. We don't do any wrongdoing. We don't support any wrongdoing. Oh, but that one man, Jesus Christ, very pivotal issue. So, like I said, man, if I got to explain it at this point, I hope you could get value out of this. But if you can't see it, you can't see it. And I think we had a good day. And we told you in advance. So, beyond that, though, I have something. Today's gonna be a pretty easy one. You know that? I would argue this is gonna be your simplest but deepest one. It's not even that crazy. It's so simple, you guys. That's why I really hope all of you do get involved. And like I said yesterday, even though we were talking to damn Antichrist, I just keep having this talk. I'm telling you, man, you're not here to die for politics. You guys are not here. We are going to change the world, and I hope that way you all become successful and you have the power and a lot of things that you'll do good with. But at the end of the day, man, I really hope you care about your future and think, because, I think the world relies on you in a weird way, because this next shift, the next big things, you need to be prepared. And that's the goal. The goal is to make sure that we are ahead of it, in it, benefiting off of it, and at the same time doing good with it. Actually, I'd say that has the equal priority as making the money or doing anything or creating anything. So that's what I'm telling you guys. That's what you should be focusing on. That's why at the beginning of the year, even though because I did think, bro, I don't think you guys realize, imagine everything I've shared with you this year and how it's all played out. I genuinely believe this would have been terrible if your girl Kamala won. That's why I had to get political for the first time in my life. You guys don't think that's weird? The first time I voted was a couple months ago. The first time I ever did it online. I was even talking to other Chads, bro, who've been with me for 5 years, bro. And you guys know it, dude. We were never political. It's really not about that shit. I think it was a unique time in history, and I'm glad that I stepped up when I did, and I'm glad that I did what I did. I don't regret it. Look around. And it's just like, yeah, but that's not, you guys aren't here to die for politics. You understand? Like, for real. I'm being dead ass serious. That's why right away I'll tell you what I disagree with Homeboy. And I'm telling you, this is how we got to set up and make money and do our thing. But even beyond money, like, I do believe that gaining success, opportunity, building, it's like we could have some good influence in this world. But that's why we need to know what we're doing. You need to know how to handle the power. And at the same time, you need to be just as equally. I want to create good just as much as I want to make a lot of money. And I want to make a lot of money. I want to make that $1 billion to buy some houses. But that's why. You see what I'm saying? But it's hand in hand. They're equivalent. It's not. Anybody, once that balance, that triple beam get out of scale, you fucked. You get what I'm saying? Because you think you're doing it to be good, bro, you're going to end up being miserable. You're like, it's not money, and then you do a lot of bad things, and then you're like, it's good, I'm doing it for people. Like, they didn't ask that. And then vice versa. You ignore everybody and only make money. I mean, you'll see how empty that is, and you'll see how much destruction you can create. So that's what we're talking about here. That's what I'm doing every day. That's why I said the offer to all of you. Tell me right now. You're like, wow, how does he do the news? How does he do this stuff? I want to learn so I can help people. And that all, you're just going to do it on the internet? Tell me now. I'll give you everything. Will you go live every day, 4 a.m., 5 a.m. to 1 p.m.? And then afterwards, 2 hours, and then will you still take care of your body and everything else? Will you still get a house and do all of that, and you'll give it away for free? I'm down. I'll give you it. But I'm not going to go live. I'm going to go out into the real world. They need us. Or vice versa. If I'm going to sit here, you need to go out and do it. These people online, bro, those people on Twitter, they don't give a fuck about you. I guarantee, go help your neighbor get a long term, they will appreciate you. You want to see what I'm teaching you is real? You want to see how fucking beneficial this is? Go show it to somebody who needs it. Then, you'll see what the fuck I'm talking about, dog. So yeah, I'm telling you, that's the offer. You really consider it and let me know, because that's what I want to see. I saw it yesterday. It blew my mind. So, all in all, man, I do hope that you have your mindset in the right place. I hope you know what we're doing here. I hope that's why you don't lean too hard in either direction. Keep your balance. Like I said, man, it's the overly Christian, it's the overly liberal, non-Christian, non-God, it's the overly anything. You know, that's it. Whatever you decide, bro, just decide for real. Don't be a liar. You don't need to align. You don't need to lie to fit in. You don't need to, because they'll cancel you. We need to get rid of that intimidation bullshit. Oracle again. I don't know if there's another headline on that. Yeah, it's going. So, think about it. God is good, bro. God is good. So, with that being said, I hope you're doing good. And I hope you're ready for a lot more. And today, like I said, it's going to be easy. This is easy, but I would argue a lot of Philo is going to hinge on this. This is easy, and I'm honest. You got a choice to make, dude. All of you. That's why I'm not mad at anybody. You're not. No one's mad at, dude. This is a beautiful place. You're living in a good time, dude. Even if in the ugly, bro. And shit could be beautiful even if it's ugly. Okay? You need to decide. You need to know what you really want, and you need to align with it. Stop saying it and don't do it. That's what I'm saying. Be real. It's going to help you. Get passionate. It's going to help you. Get excited. It's going to help you. You don't notice this? That's why you don't need to lie, dude. And I'm not, fuck anybody else. I'm saying to yourself. You do that, you're going to be great. But this is what I'm talking about, man. I'm going to just say this, and I need you to understand. But this isn't even the kicker. This is the opening of it. Belief without change, belief without your behavior changing is literally death. Do you understand that? You say, I believe, and it doesn't change your behavior. It's not alive. I mean, you guys know that, like, the devil, the demons, you know they know Jesus better than you do. What is it? That you don't? I think the people in the Bible said Jesus, they called him friends with demons because of what he did. Do you not understand? They knew Jesus better than I do, bro. You think I know about God, bro? I'm over here doing little human shit. You think I know about it? That's what I told y'all, bro. I just received, dog. Fuck it. I'm not. I can't even act like it's any. Believe me, I wish it was more, but nah, man. We're human. That's why God is God. Oof, I love it. I could fathom that I can't fathom it. That's why I believe it. They don't feel me. So, you know they knew him better. So this is what I'm trying to tell you. This is why I love it, dude. You know why? I love freedom. I hope I've showed you. That's why I don't like it when y'all try to fuck with freedom. Both my freedom, controlling others, manipulating others, this country, my veterans. Come on. You know what I'm saying? All these things, bro. Freedom. You get to choose. Whether you know the full info or not will depend upon how you are held accountable to it, right? Think about it. Can I be real with y'all? If you knew every one of these plays and got exposed to it, you're held at a different standard than the person that genuinely just wasn't here. You get what I'm saying? That's just the reality of it, because you knew other things. But it doesn't change the fact that you still get to choose. And that is important. But then you also need to see the reality. This is why I love this planet. This is why I am having a blast. And this is why I tell you, I don't choose your world. I don't choose this nonsense. I really don't. And I hope you're with me, and I hope you don't defile yourself. Because you get to choose. Who do you want to align with? Are you more worried if a human is mad at you and people, or are you more worried if God is mad at you, your creator and your father? You see what I'm saying? That's a beautiful choice. But you get to choose. Stop the cap. Like, again, dude, these demons, they knew Jesus better than any of us would, bro. And you know what? That didn't change them. Do you understand? Do you understand? It didn't change them. They knew. That's okay. That's what I'm trying to tell you. I'm not trying to call you a demon. No. You're a human. You are blessed, brother. You are my brother in blood. Shout out to Laminin. Go look it up. You are my brother. You are my family. White, black, Mexican, it doesn't matter. Your religion doesn't matter. You're my brother. My blood brother. Literally. But that's why I'm saying that you have the opportunity to know. And you don't have the full info. That's why we get mercy, brother. You don't get it? I've made so many mistakes, I can't believe it. You know why? You've seen me make mistakes. And guess what? Some of them, I didn't know. And praise God. That you're not condemned for that, dog. But once you know better, you do better. Right? So you know. But it's like you get to, this is just, you have this shot, man. And I'd rather have you know. And if you know and you choose not to, all love, bro. No one's holding you on that. But I'd rather you than lying about it or not knowing and saying you're doing one than the other. And this is what I mean is like, dude, do you really believe? Because you really believe it's going to give you the willingness. A real belief is going to make you willing, like we talked about yesterday. And that willingness is going to make you change. And guess what? If you're like, you know, I don't really believe, or you say a lot of words and it's still nothing. Again, it's easy to spin wheels for a long time. I'm not trying to make any of you think that, well, I've been in the same space, so then I'm this. No. But that willingness, and that's why I'm saying you're lucky, because if you're telling me you don't know this, God is with you. But at some point, and after enough time, it does get to the point where it's like, yo, man, what's your choice? Did you know better or not? And if you do believe, your behavior will change. That's it. That's all it is. That's it. And guess what? It's not off your work. So I keep saying grace, man. Do you accept this grace? Do you accept that you don't know everything? And if you do, that means even with all your mistakes, brother. But again, it's still, can you believe that? Can you believe what I'm saying? Yeah, they're just hitting that Trump True Social again. So yeah, man. Accept the gift of grace. I didn't say works. That's you're like, well, what do you mean? If my behavior change, isn't that works? No. The works are going to be a response. They're not a prerequisite. That's what I'm trying to explain to you. My brother, you might still continue to make mistakes. You might still continue to stall. And I hope you all get it right now. I'm talking about real belief right now. That's what you're seeing in me, motherfucker. Excuse my language. Do you not get it? I'm not special. I don't know anything special. I do know a lot. That's why it's contradicting and weird. But it's like, dude, I am just full-blown belief right now. My guy, he's filling in the blanks. I just keep taking steps. I need you to do the same. Yeah, you're dumping on it. Trump to announce pricing deal on drugs on IVF. They're reiterating that one. And then that's weird. Yeah, there's a lot of reiterations. Dude, nothing. Remember how we dropped earlier? It was off shit. That was a great checkpoint call out and great. Oh, don't even get me started. The Lord. So, yeah. I hope y'all feel me, man. I want belief. You need it. But again, bro, how it changes your behavior is a response. It is not a prerequisite. I'm not saying go take a bunch of steps that shows me you believe. No, my brother. Once you start tapping into the real belief you have in you, you will start to, and then you are able to accept the grace that you can, and all of this and the learning, brother, it's going to change you. You will get a response. And stop telling me you can't believe. Stop telling me y'all think this and all this other stuff. You know why? You grew up on fairy tales. You grew up on mysticism. We all love mysticism. We're human. Mystery is what keeps us alive, the mystic. That's what I'm telling you. You need, as a human, you have the same hardware where you could access your belief to not make it a fairy tale, brother. It works like a fairy tale, but it's not a fairy tale. That's what I'm telling you. It's real belief. And I wanted you to have belief in something that is solid so that you could believe in yourself too. And I want you to believe in yourself. I believe in myself. And that's through God, bro. For real. So, the works are a response, bro. It's not a prerequisite. But the belief is what brings everything alive. I'm gonna tell you another one. And that's what I'm saying, man. With all of this, it's just, I hope you see it. And don't pick up a Bible. Don't pick up a religion and all this to get something. Please. It will let you down. I've been let down. Shit. Again, you hear my language, brother. But you know what? I know my God. I'm not trying to justify it. I'm just trying to tell you, man, don't let anybody control you. I'm talking to all of you. I don't care who's listening. I don't care if you hate me. I don't care if you fuck me over. Anything. Don't let anybody control you, guys. That's the answer. It really is. Your only job is to believe. Do you understand? For real, bro. Do not let anybody control you. I'm not talking like dumb shit. I'm talking like, well, if you're Christian, Jewish, Muslim, Hindu, Buddha, name it. Doesn't matter. These little groups, these little cliques. You see what I'm saying? I want you to just believe. Be free, be good, create in light, dude. Like, you see, I'm not trying to get you to abandon bad things, dude. But like, I don't know, we live in a world where just so many things, again, it's easy to fall into. I've been around churches my whole life. I've been around the Middle East my whole life. You don't get it? All of these things. So think about it. That's why I could tell you, I know what I go against, and I'm not trying to because I believe the same thing. But I also don't believe in control. I don't believe in the oppression. I really don't. I really, really don't. Why do you think I have that liberal bone in me forever? Because I don't like oppression. I don't know if you've noticed how it bothers me. Especially if you have shit. And that's what I'm telling you. So all of you, please don't let anybody ever control you. And I mean, that's why the influence. Oh, but you said you trade. You said you're this. You said you're Christian. I thought this. You got to do this. I thought you support Black Lives Matter. I thought you support Jewish. I thought you were with Palestine. Don't. We need to be good people, all of us. That is no category. We need to do the things in light. You're either building for light or building for darkness. That's it. You see what I'm saying? We need to have belief that we could change it. Not that, it's in someone's control. We'll never be able to. No. Like, seriously, kindly, shut the fuck up already. The power is in all of us. It's here right now. That's what I'm saying. I'm like, dude, I don't get it. Why stop playing small? Y'all have brains, all of you. You have good brains. This world is clouding you to not believe in yourself, let alone your father. That's what I'm saying. It's a hard sell for some people nowadays. I'm not trying to sell you. That's what I'm saying. These people are trying to sell you. This resonates or not. That's what I'm saying. Some of you already know this. You know, work hard, do these things, and we want good. It's not about this other shit, dude. And it's not like you can't, no one's, anytime anybody try to put a title in this and tell you do this, do that, that's not love. You know, it's funny, man. The other day, I did what I did Monday. You guys did what you did Friday. And it's funny because, like, some of you guys are like, man, Josh, you sounded so disturbed. You said you sounded so, man. And then a day later, you're like, okay, you sound back to yourself now. Like, I've been the same. You know what it sounded like? I think it was the sound of pissing an angel off. And let me just put it this way. I don't think I'm the angel, brother. Do you understand? I don't view myself that highly. Maybe I do from time to time when the Lord smacks me in the face and says, receive and shut the fuck up. Maybe he doesn't cuss, but still. You get it? I don't know how to explain it to you. Do you not feel it? I feel that an angel is pissed off. I'm not really bothered. I look at my life, dude. I'm having so much fun. You guys think I could go from disturbed to the next day having fun? I'm either mentally ill, and I have been for decades and decades in a row with stability, or it's not that bad. I'm telling you, I think you all feel it. I think an angel got pissed off. That's what I feel. I think it's annoying. That's why I'm not the angel, dude. I think there is something around that in our world, and whatever it is, it's agitated. You see, why do you think I don't know how to explain it to you? That's why I keep telling you, I'm more worried about God. You think I care if you like me or not? You think I care if you give me a badge? If you like my words? You think I care? You think I'm scared of the gimp devil guy? No. I don't want that angel mad at me. I don't want my Lord, my Father mad at me. And I could sense that it's not like this is wild. You know what I'm saying? And I think a lot of you felt it in other ways, or you've probably described it in other ways. And like that's why I think a lot of us thought things would have been different by now, or at least a little bit different. I don't think we expected certain like, whoa, bro, it's like it's weird. And more. So, oh yeah, they clapped the other one. So yeah, bro. I'd align with the good, bro. I'd align with what it is. Like I'm telling you. I think the time of like, yeah, just don't piss off God, man. I think we are in a time, there's so many good opportunities and things happening, but I don't think this is the time to be arrogant. I don't think this is the time to hurt people, especially the little ones. I think the lack of value, the lack of graciousness, and I'm not talking here, bro. It's everywhere in the world at such crazy levels. Like I'm saying, a lot of us are feeling like we can't control, but we can. You have power. You have so many things that if you can't value that, if you can't appreciate, and then it sends you in a spiral, don't even get me started. So, I hope you feel me. But that's what it reminded me of. Like I said, just don't let anyone control you. And you need to choose what you want. So, that's pretty much it. But I'll finish it with this. I told you, this one's not that crazy today, man. But this part, it's so simple. But it's not. This is the basis of everything. This is the backbone. I would argue this is your sacrum, bro. The 5 into 1, brother. Now, 5 into 1, you either gonna be like the Lord or you're gonna be like the other one. Well, no, man. I just think I don't think the angel is happy, or I feel the agitation. I'm not really bothered myself, but like I'm saying, I just don't know if you guys know this, but like, people are running out of patience. And I think the angel is running out of patience, i.e., he ain't gonna save you next time. You understand? Just, he's done that before. Read the book. He'll let you have whatever you want, bro. Do you see what I'm saying? Believe me, you will get exactly what you wanted. I don't like that. That's what I'm saying, because as somebody who's been kind of bailed out in many ways by God and seeing how, like, damn, I should have been dead. I should have died so many times. I should be a crackhead. I should not have anything. Like, you guys have no idea. And the fact that I got a shot, that's grace. That's what I'm talking about for all of you. And I could even be what I am today. Are you serious? And that you all have that too? So do you see what I'm saying? This is the time he's gonna let you he's gonna let you stumble it. That's what I'm saying, make the stumbling. So if you thought there's gonna be a safety net this time, there's not. And I'm not talking about me. I'm not talking about a stream. I'm not even talking about money. That's what I'm saying. I'm talking culture. I'm talking the world. God. That's what I'm talking about. I don't think there's a safety net this time. You guys understand? We are going to get big changes and we're going to do stuff, but I think the Lord is about to let people have their desires. And that means there's no protection. I'm not going to get in the way of that. Do you understand? I seek refuge in the Lord, brother. So this is what I want you to understand. I think I've given you guys many jobs, and I've told you got many tasks, and I believe it, man. And like I said, I hope you bring this to the real world, man. Very, very simple. Your only job is to believe. You understand? This is what I'm saying. Let me help you with the simple one today. But this could change your whole life forever, for real, if we could actually achieve the real belief today. I promise you. This is what I've been doing, dude. This is what you see in me. I believe, brother. That's why. Why do you think I'm so willing? Why do you think I want to? And then it's funny because like you see it too. You're watching it right in front of your eyes. He meets me halfway every time. And guess what? One of these days, it's not going to look like that. But now I know, and he's still with you. Your only job is believe. Your Father sent you here. Do you really believe that? You need to. You need to believe the job is done for you, man. That's what I'm saying. You need to wake. What are you worried about, brother? What are you afraid of, brother? I need you to really believe. That's what I'm saying. And how many times, why don't you want to believe? Why don't you want to have hope? Because you got let down last time. My brother, I'm going to tell you right now, you're going to get let down again. But this time, it's not going to be let down. You're going to understand it. Because you know when he's here in your presence, you'll know. And even when he's gone, you know he's never gone. All part of the plan. Do you believe? Oh, do you believe, brother? That's what I'm saying. Do you understand what that means? It's already done for you. That's how I'm walking. I told you a long time. I said they built AI for us, Chad. Look how arrogant that sounds. That's my God. That's what I'm telling you. It's already done for you. What do you think about it? What are you afraid of? Tell me what you're afraid of and tell me what you believe in. Tell me what you're scared of, then tell me what you believe in. Because it's not like I'm not afraid of things. I can be, but I'm not. I'm not afraid of something bigger. Actually excited about him. You get it? My brother, believe. Start moving like everything is, I said already, is real. So I'm saying I don't want to mislead you. I don't want you to be a dummy. I don't want you to be in La La Land. But like, to a certain element, I think you've already got to see it, but you need to start believing like it's real. I think that's what's slowing some of you down. Yes, there's deep analogies and all, but believe. Do you believe that is your father? That you got sent here? Bro, I'm telling you. This is hard sometimes to believe. I know it is. And it's easy to say it, and that's why I'm saying the result. So, dude, I'm telling you, your real mental thought of knowing it's already done, that will get rid of your fear. That will get rid of the anxiety. Start, if you say that, do you believe his promise, his word? Are you spending time with him in your secret place? I'm telling you, believe and show. You're not going to show up if you don't believe. But if you believe, you're going to show up. And I'm telling you, like I told you the other day, all he needs is willing. That's what the belief and willing is, almost interchangeable. I don't know if they're the same thing, really. They're different, but they go so hand in hand. Because I've noticed the unwilling don't believe. And the people who are oddly willing believe. And then as you progress and do better or worse, it hinges on willingness and belief still. So yeah, hope you feel me. But Chad, that's all today's Philo is. I need real belief. I don't need it. I have it. You need it. We all do. You can change the world. Don't tell me the world's already controlled. That's what I'm looking for, a belief that says oh my gosh. Not because I don't know how to describe it to you, bro. In the same way I've showed you, like, I'm just like, oh my gosh, I just discovered a treasure. I just discovered a key. That's what I believe. That's what I'm saying. I believe. So what about you? It's all it is. Look at what I'm crazy enough to believe, and that's why I say, why do you say that? Why do you do that? Because I believe. If you'll note, your belief will correlate with your timidness. Up and down. It's like a bond. Inverse timid. Belief. And I already know it's going to happen. Like I said, why don't you want to have hope now? Why is it so difficult? You got let down. Last time you got hopeful and it didn't work. Oh, there you go. You're going to understand it this time. You need to. That's why you got to really love it. Be real. Real about your belief and truly believe. That way you know it's not motivated by the little things, because there's a bigger belief, a bigger plan, a bigger mission. So I look forward to it. I can't believe IVF hit 180, dude. That's nuts. So, Chad Adonia, that's all. Just belief. Ask him for help to believe. Amen. It's in you, though, dude. And don't let anybody control you. That's what I'm saying. Like, I hope you understand belief, God, good things. I'm telling you. As always, I hope you make your choice and find it out. I'm not trying to control you. I have zero desire to, bro. So I really hope you find your answer. I hope it's an answer you could really believe in, because I'd argue that's what everything's going to hinge on here. So take that to the bank. That is your philosophy, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure you're subscribed. We're live Monday through Friday, 30 minutes before open.
If you blessed enough to have a dream, chase it, bro.
I had a dream like Martin, then I heard a couple stories. Never met my heroes, never had one. Never wanted things I never had, son. I got it, then I grabbed them. Looking back, these bitches Southeast sad them. Good more, don't ignore your sword for the war. Armor's no good if you leave that shit at home. I don't care if that match up with the drum. I ain't young, I ain't care about looking dumb. Out my way, we could talk when I'm done. Does it look like I'm finished? Even if I was, dog, I do my own dishes. Why the fuck you in my business? I ain't tryna be a menace. Need a couple minutes, but you're talking in your bitch and just show me that you don't get it. Look, now I wasted your time trying to reprimand, explain the basic shit so you could understand. I ain't being mean the way I teach. The big leagues ain't throwing underhand. Not the bad guy, I'm the best coach that you ever had. Something like LaMelo's dad. Mama was an immigrant, $5 an hour working with Brillo pads. We got some things we shouldn't have, so I can feel down, but I don't ever think I'm really sad. Life a miracle, but I won't give you one. But I could teach you shit, and you'll walk away with dividends. Wish you'll buy more, and then you'll wish you did it young. You missed the first harvest, but tell me about the second one. Trying to build while looking at the clouds. I'm looking at my hand, then I'm looking at the ground. Peter walked on water, but fell. When he looked around, I heard that story all my life. I think I start to get it now. Slow in the fast lane, answers in my last name. They really didn't listen, that's a damn shame. But that don't mean my plans changed. Maybe just the landscape did what I said without a handshake. 3,004 an ounce, that sound like a fair rate. Word is gold, they only kept theirs too late. So I'm on with your new face. A snake can move a few ways. And life a bitch that lie about how the fruit tastes. Welcome back.
Where's Jill? Come on. Nah, I mean it. Hey. It's 4 p.m. 4 p.m. is when I wake up, bitch. Hey. Shout out to Percy, that's me. You could just call me JP. I do not answer no questions. You could leave that to Shaki. Camilla riding with me. She'll lock you up for some weed. Say bad things about the vaccine. I'ma make sure you don't speak. Got a laptop you won't see. Hunter, I love her, but that shit was weird with his feet. I love my Congressman trade. Shout out to Nancy, she paid. Double your gas in a day. Them must say Putin's to blame. Real politics in your face. 500 bill on the way. 500 mil to Ukraine. Every day. Javelins keeping them safe. Fuck it, just send them some planes. Tell them keep growing them grains. All of my bros in 8-0. None of they borders is closed. All of us got climate goals. All of us straight together. Strategically releasing the ore. They said that Putin won't fold. They in my cabinet no more. Fuck the squad, fuck the foe. Had a 9, fuck a roll. Now we going practical. Hunter, my dog, that's for sure. We ain't gon' fall about shit. Especially not 10%. We ain't gon' fall about hoes. Me and Nance get the votes. Lobby that shit on the low. I got Congress in control. I got your student loan froze. I got your mortgages froze. I got Keystone on froze. But maintenance cinema froze. I'm getting faded, I'm eating this ice cream. I don't like voters who ID. Questions from press, that's unlikely. Bring up Trump if they don't like me. They give me the Eddie, I wake up. Passing bills, that's a layup. I'm the big man, I got say so. They lock you down if I say so. Booster on booster on booster. Mandate on mandate on mandate. I just gave Evie a test rate. Fuck you, Elon, I won't even say your name. Came in the office already ballin'. Silent just change my name to Stalin. Right off the screen and I'm gone with the wind. Do nothing about something till they pass a bill. Pull up in a brand new Benz truck. How about fresher than a red truck? How I got it, how to just, yeah. How I gotta make it one car. Station on your block, took off. Mixing up my words, I'm live. So I think they mad, my fault. Talking about inflation, I caused. Dumping our oil turned me to a savage. $1 saved on a gallon. Fuck OPEC and King Salmon. And fresh, I'm tired.
What up? Long term.
cult, baby.
It is a cult. All right, man. Well, you went down there. Trump crashing markets to push people into bonds. No, my brother. Your bias has you really, really far behind. So, even Bloomberg admitted it. This is all still the China setup. I've been saying that for hours. There's an 80% difference on hedge premiums from our last warning. So, yeah, I would try to lock in, man. And that doesn't mean pay me. But, yeah. Well, you're going lower, bro, but notice this. I gave you a good checkpoint. Everything was perfect, but then the bonds are my only thing not hitting today. And I'm not even worried about a play. I'm just saying is like guidance for everything. And that IVF, that one took off. You had it early. If you took that one, I think the progeny was the higher quality one, but the pump one did. That's the one. Kremlin, 2 nations to quickly prepare summit, likely in Budapest. Says Kremlin. Kremlin. Rubio and Lavrov hold call soon. Very useful talk. Agree to stay in touch. Dog, are we selling the piece or what? I think it's still the China shit. But like I said, no real headlines today. That's why, again, I think some of the timely warnings I gave you were correct. Just in terms of the theme and why. Because you don't really have a driver. And now, yeah, they held a call, set in coming days. That's coming out now, but like I'm saying, that's not why you'd go down. Long term. Trump says he'll consider his views before meeting Zelensky. Call lasted nearly 2.5 hours. Okay, VIX is on there. So again, if you could have double dipped on them. I didn't think that would be wise, but because again, you could have got free protection. It all just depended on size, which I told you. So again, if it was small, you shouldn't move. If it was big enough, you got free. Putin told Trump Ukraine is striking energy sites, says army is holding full strategic initiative. I think we might hit that gap fill, maybe. But that's a long way away, so I don't know if we could commit to 50 points, but that'll be in that realm of possibility. Because Jeffries, I think some of it is the regionals. I do agree. I actually do. I even think there's plays, but it's kind of shitty. That's the only downside. The premiums are really, really juiced right now, and it's by end of the day, if the banking stuff disappears, all that high premium dies. Otherwise, it will stay. But that's also completely separate. That's the sad part. Like I told you, you guys got to juggle a couple of things right now. Mainly earnings in the China thing, but now I don't know, the more that shit lingers with the banks, that will be it's swinging around, bro. It's swinging around. Well, notice though, a couple of the bubble shit's holding up though, and then you even have like the random pockets. So some things, if it's not really tied to logic, it'll do its own thing. But even then, you have seen this week how some of that momentum slowed down right after ripping. So, think about it. Your WWR ripped 30% before all of this. And that was after a 120% move. So, but now the momentum is pick and choose. But we'll see. We are still looking for that 3% day. Yes, I told you. I can't believe it. We thought we clipped it, but I showed you guys this when I came back on Tuesday. That record was never broken. So even though we had that one China shit, yeah, nothing changed. Okay, new low. This is below all these other points. It was equal weight right there, guys. So NASDAQ's now matched up with the SPY. Russell is the leader, but yeah, this is getting broad. So now, like I said, we got to wait for the bonds, but even without it, everything else, wait till the gold and silver. But it could be a mix of the banks, you guys. But like I'm saying, we're going to what got us here was preparing for China, but I do think you have other things lingering. Like I said, though, after this, the shit just already sped up a little faster. Yeah, all the banks are kind of getting clobbed. Oh shit, dude. That might work. Lockheed partnering with Aero Environment and Second Interceptor Program. I don't know if that's that Aero one. Oh. That's AVAV, good. Thank you for that. Oh yeah, Wall did give the guidance. That was part of it. Well, it's simple. I think there's more premium than fear right now with the banks, but that clearly something is brewing. Like I said it in the morning. That one now, it keeps getting worse. So remember, bank is like about this situation, but also those asset prices could fucking tumble it. Do you remember what happened last time? So that's why I don't think something's going to happen yet or at all, because it doesn't have to. I don't think the situation's that bad. But do you see where I'm saying? Remember, the first time, if the asset goes low enough in financial and depending on their balance sheets, that in and of itself could kind of trigger a waterfall. Yeah, just selling begets selling. And then after certain points, but I think that's a secondary concern that could become a primary. But for now, like I said, China earnings, but then banks and earnings meets, but now they have their own little issue. Yeah, city's starting to die. Alright, you're still going lower. No SVB collapse, but because of that, that's why people are worried. You see what I'm saying? It's a very odd situation. That's why I say I don't think the cause is as big as SVB, nowhere close. But then again, people just, that first Brands collapse was weird, and then little by little, you're just finding more and more people are kind of involved, and then some it's big, some it's not. But I mean, it's something collapsed. Ah, the good old yearly Weight Watchers pump. They're emerging from bankruptcy with a plan. Okay. Dude, I haven't even looked at China. Yeah, Tricolor, First Brand. There's another one, I think, too. But it's just like, that's not supposed to happen. That's why it kind of started slow. That's why it still could be nothing. And then, you know, I just, again, after SVB, but, you know, this isn't the environment where you should see a bankruptcy unless it's 08. That's kind of that's why the First Brands thing was so surprising. It was like, what do you mean? Everybody thought it was at least worth $1 billion or so, but it's not as big as SVB, nowhere near that. All right, little rip. You'll probably go checkpoint or not. It just, I don't know. Keep an eye on the bonds. They moved up a decent amount, but it was gradual. CDT on the low. The low ticker is still pretty active. 30-second, 1 minute, 5 minute. 2% on the Russell. Everything's still below 1%. So, I don't know. In a weird way, it's kind of mimicking yesterday. So, be on the lookout for something like that. But you're not that bad. You're just getting back to like that final level of Friday or right before it went crazy. About other currencies dropping against the dollar? No. I do care about just the dollar in general. Oh, dude. I don't know. I don't want to tell you. I can't. I don't think I can say the next thing out loud. But watch the euro. I don't have a real legitimate basis to watch the euro. If I told you why, you'll think I'm cuckoo. But it doesn't make sense to me. But I don't know why. The euro. Just watch the euro. But I do care more about the dollar. My human mind says the dollar is the most important. But yeah, the euro is still in play though, from beginning of the year. Well, no, like the banking thing, like I'm saying, I think that's the worse it gets. I wouldn't ignore it. But at the same time, it is much, much smaller than your boy SVB. I think let me put it this way. I think the reverse repo is way more concerning than the banks right now. But then if they both have problems, well, then that's a different story. I don't know. So. I explained the euro at the beginning of the year. I probably spent a whole quarter going over it. Where are they? Yeah, they were pumping all the railroads today. The news was weird today, man. They were really, really late on a lot of stuff, and then some stuff they just ignored, and then, yeah, just put Jamie Dimon in front of the fucking banking shit. Yeah, bro, you see it? That fucking, was it Coyote who told me, or Tyree? I saw it, they were like $6 billion. I said, what? But yeah, the reverse repo is at $6 billion. It's nothing. So, I mean, I don't know. We got kind of distracted. Thankfully, we're making money in the meantime, but I thought it would have been at like 170 or something. So, yeah, bro. Oh, that's Sando. MBI, what was that one? Yup. Is that batteries? Bonds, this 10-year bond term treasury ETF? Looks just like TLT. IBTL. Yeah, bro, low ticker's been gassing this whole time. Tech is holding you up. It's more broad. That could be because of the banks, but yeah, Equal Weight just took it on the head. Tech's kind of holding you up, but Russell now just took another quarter. That's probably why you're getting a lot of these. Chamber of Commerce files suit against Trump admin over H-1B visa fees. What? Or was that Malone? Were you? I think it was Malone who told me that on the repo. It was in the morning, but yeah, that's why we were just talking about that. I think it was you. Because I'm like, dude, that was, but it's not, again, it's not the main concern right now. I don't think it's the main concern. Why is there always a loss? I don't know. I'm surprised the judges didn't, like, I'm surprised they weren't like, no, they challenged the Israel-Palestine peace deal. Judges demand hostages must return. I'm surprised they didn't do that this time. But yeah, otherwise, everything else they've been doing that. That's, you know, I'm sure it gives people more and more confidence. But hey, at least they let the hostages still stay. You know, good. Freedom, I hope. Okay, now you got some energy, more quantum, and then, yeah, but it's still kind of that same move for the last couple of, maybe 30 or 40 minutes here. JB Hunt still going. It's not really the industry. More people are surprised by the banking thing just because, once again, you just had like a surprise failure, right? And they were like, what do you mean the loans aren't worth anything? when people thought these financial loans for autos, as well as like First Brands, that, you know, people were under the assumption that there were assets with money and they were doing deals around them, and then come to find out it's trash, then that's kind of the shock, if that makes any sense. It's kind of small. That's what I'm saying. It's not even like, even Jamie Dimon will say 150 million, that was his hit, it doesn't matter. And I could agree with that, but at the same time, it's more of a, you know, it was like you just found out somebody lied, and there's like, yeah, that's not good. CLSK, Tesla now dropping. I mean, anything on the high ticker is an inverse, bro. You're still maxed out on the low ticker, 90%. Bonds, I mean, today, if you really think about it, some of the other inverses, unless it's like an inverse ETF, bonds are the only one going up. You did have gold and silver lead, and they're still green. So technically, until those flush, you actually do have something beyond just the bond market. And then you have names like, dude, CRM still kind of gapped up. Oracle rocketed off the news. You're not like Big Tech's doing bad. Big Tech's down 1, but that's actually holding you up today. That's what you should be worried about. If you, in the next hour and a half, if we're going to get really fucked up, that's because of tech. Otherwise, next few days, if tech does good, it'll buffer. If not, you will suffer. Jamie said, where there's one cockroach, there's more. Yeah, that is something to think about, because I agree with that. And that's why it was First Brands, that Tricolor. You'll find a couple more. But then that's why it's like, well, what the fuck just happened then? And then if it starts to become something to worry, then you'll repeat. But it will come down to size as well. If they're all small, who gives a fuck? Yeah, I think the staples and some of those values, they held up. But still, not too much. Remember, we were like 50-50. You had 60% of the NASDAQ up in the morning. Let me get you the checkup now. Yeah, NASDAQ, you only have 18 in the green, 80-something in the red, 7 green on the Dow, 23 in the red, and then SPY, 95 green, 405 in the red. Oh, yeah, you do get Trump in a little bit, yeah. We'll see, though, because he said he's doing the Russia stuff tomorrow. So I don't know what he has today. Yeah, that's the thing. If the banking stuff just chills out, dude, that might be something you hear about next earnings. But if it accelerates soon, then that might be a new issue. But that's why I say it's just not my primary focus right now, unfortunately. So, like I'm saying, you got to proceed at your own risk. There's more premium than anything, but if it does get worse, it fucks up. And then vice versa. But like I'm saying, if you prepared for fucking China like I yelled at you this morning, I think very clearly you would have been good. So yeah, as I said that to you guys, I literally took a bunch of plays off the table and I bought my fucking puts. That's what I was telling you, because China, we know this. That's what I'm saying. If Bloomberg is willing to admit I'm right after 24 hours, bro. So, but now the banking stuff, I'm not ignoring it. I'm just saying you were already prepared for it regardless. But yeah, if it does one domino after the next, you watch. But your primary focus, Halloween, China. And then earnings is going to give you some of these moves. But yeah, depending on banking crisis, that'll be a gray black swan. And then if not anything soon, probably next earnings we'll have these talks again. I think that's a good way to put it. Check engine light for sure. I'd like that. CDW. Oh, IVF came down. What was the other one? Progeny? Yeah, I think that's what Trump's going to talk about. Yeah, that one came down too. XBI still holding. We had a good free though. You got double. Yeah, the progenies are still jacked. You know that? I'm still up 150 on the bid. So yeah, the good one held if you were early enough. Charles Schwab playing spot crypto. Yeah, your little candle. Nothing's happened, you guys. So you moved around. You just got that WSB or the H1B news. That was a couple minutes ago, but other than that, no update. We got White House productive U.S.-India talks led to 50% cut in Indians' Russia oil imports. That's why fucking Putin picked up the phone. So yeah, they're saying India's down to cut half of the imports from Russia. Oh yeah, just cut you guys off. It hasn't connected back again. Oh, there it is. Yeah, that one took a while to reconnect for you guys. So yeah, got a positive India headline. But that's it. SXC? I want it long term. BBVA. All right, I need to go get a pro, you guys. I haven't had pro today. You know that? We got so excited. I need food, bro. Just hungry. Jamie hungry. Jamie won't bing bing.
Can still 3 million barrel a day or plus seaborne oil, but it has fewer willing buyers or more desperate
Dude, I'm
willing
not
buyers.
even willing to listen
to you. It may
to
have
you.
to
Fuck
lower
you
the
guys.
discount. Right now, Russia only loses.
Jesus. Praise God. Amen, amen. It's a cult, baby. Hey. Yeah. If we talking plays
plays, yeah, I'm in there like swimwear. I've been there, I've done this shit for 10 years. You could have it all, but you've been scared, big scare. Funny part, there wasn't even risk there. My thoughts been my own, yeah, I've been clear, no fear. Oh dear, who you try to control here? My God is the weapon, I ain't boasting. Nah, it's done. Daddy said it's finished, made me in his image, but that always made me timid. Wonder why we different, don't you ever get it twisted. It's the only way we get it, set apart from the start. And the heart isn't ours, it's a hippie with the love, but it's David with the sword. I want peace, so that means you gon' kill me if it's war. Nietzsche, Trotsky, can't beach on the arc. Want it easy or hard, want a genie or a god, then believe me, lil' bro, you a child, you a son of the highest in the bud. Don't deny it, we don't like it when they tell us who we are. I can tell you who I was, I can tell you who he is. I can make another song that's telling y'all about the crib, but for a second, keep it real. It's not the reason they will kill, it's the freedom in believing. They want that to bring the will, but I'd rather have it now, and I ain't never backing down. Lion gonna eat me or turn his ass around. Either way, I will remain up in his name and say it proud. Here, let's say it now, Jesus. I put Jesus on the beat so I can listen to it. I got reason to believe that we living in it. You could say it's one hell of a decision in it. Ay, if we talking plays, yeah, I'm in there like swimwear. I've been there, I've done this shit for 10 years. You could have it all, but you've been scared, big scare. Funny part, there wasn't even risk there. My thoughts been my own, yeah, I've been clear, no fear. Oh dear, who you try to control here? My God is the weapon, I ain't boasting.
I'm here, but you don't want to hear the chewing.
Amen.
Trust me, I'm smacking. Okay, not bad. Not bad. Oh, there's like 40 grams of protein in that time. Apple readying first touch screen for Mac. Wow, I don't know if that's early or not. It was burping and shit. Nope, still fucking early. Yeah. That one's on TV though. I got that one too. Apple readying first touch screen, 26 or 27. Yeah, like a Mac pad. A iMac pad. The fuck? It's like an iPad, but it's like a Mac. No, like an iPad, but like a book. Okay, it's like a MacBook, but like an iPad. I'm confused. So an iPhone? No. Okay, like with a keyboard. So an iPad with a keyboard? No. A Mac pad. All right, man, you just not getting the future. That's your fault. You're not. Trump outraged that International Maritime Organization plans global tax vote in London this week. True Social. Terrible. Oh shit, now I need water. To identify brain disease. Dude, everybody, Google, everyone's talking healthcare shit today. I don't know, I don't like the news today. It seems very out of touch. Like, we have all these different things going on, and like, I've told you a lot of shit that some of it's there, some of it's not, but they just keep recycling the same. Like, I've heard this so many times today. But yeah, there's a lot of people talking health and gene editing stuff today.
Clark, because we only have about 3 minutes or so left. I just want to jump ahead.
God. So I'm gonna go get a water.
What do you envision in the future? That all of us get an implant or something, and it's kind of moving around our body, detecting things, or how might this play out? And I am curious about what it would cost.
So electronics now will, is so cheap that you can have it in your shoes. Millions of these devices can be made with less than $10. So as I mentioned that in our lab, we have already shown this technology is helpful for multiple diseases, including brain cancer, chronic pain, and Alzheimer's. In the area of brain cancer, and then we work with terminal cancers like glioblastoma or DIPG, where these are terminal cancers, means the patients, when they're diagnosed with these cancers, they have no other hope. Radiation does not work. Chemotherapy does not work. People die within 12 to 18 months. We have shown that with our technology, with precise bioelectrical stimulation, you can completely halt the growth of brain cancer where other technologies will not work. Wow. That can increase the survival.
Yeah, everyone keeps talking about this shit. There was one play. There's one out there. There's a couple. Remember, it was like 2 weeks ago, even CRISPR, like a week ago. Do you feel like the bubble is slowing down? Yes and no. That's why we had that good video yesterday. I think that would give you clarity, not only the next one, but even how to operate, because there was a parameter that kind of identified that. So, but I take it back. I think the bubble is like a side effect, but at the end of the day, I still think we're in that. Remember I told you guys start the countdown from the last Fed meeting? So I still think we're playing that game, tied into all these big topics for the next couple weeks, and then the end of the year, and then, yeah, depending on how these things develop, I think that's going to be the side effect. But there is areas of focus. And then a lot of people are, like I'm telling you, you guys haven't noticed week by week, more and more random people and people you know are learning about stocks. You guys don't know this? You guys don't notice this? I'm telling you, bro. Last week it was my girlfriend's friends. Then it's the people at the gym. I had another one too. I forgot. It's just all over, bro. It's all over. You had a bus driver show my coworker, show him his Robinhood account. Yeah, it's not bad. Like, you guys get what I'm saying? Like, this is my problem. I think it's great that normal Americans invest. I want more and more. The sad part is that it's just like people are really leading them in the wrong direction, and then they're fucking hiding me. Then it's just like, we've seen this before, and like, even then, the thing that's drawing people in right now, it wasn't the Trump move that got us 50% on our long term. That wasn't it. They're seeing the crazy moves and they want in on that. That's why it's like a lot of people's intentions, and that's why most people, they're only buying it after it goes up 30%. Because they're like, I want to do that in a day. I want to double my money. And then even if it takes 3 days, it's throwing everybody through this cycle. So that's all, man. I really think we should have a real world effect and help people. But yeah, man, it's getting crazy. So be wise and make your decision where you stand. And at the end of the day, like I've been telling you many, many times, don't let it fuck with your long term. Can I show you guys a video? I would love to. And that's why I'm saying, bro, honestly, I think respectfully, you guys need to start spamming my fucking videos everywhere and get me out of the box. Otherwise, somebody take over and let me go out in the real world. Okay? Because this is like fucked up. Let me show you. That's where you got to just watch yourself and really, have your... You don't remember this video? I got another video for you. We did add to the long term, but I got something special. I'm glad a lot of you watched this one. This was on September 21st, bro, and I was late on this video. I was talking about it on stream for like a week, and I took time to get this video out because I had shit to do. I posted on the weekend. Because we are in this whole video is long term and about a bubble. Waste your time and what you need to do. We just cut rates and listen, simply. That's 16 seconds in, dog. All right, that's even the clickbait zone, dog. What the fuck? So yeah, that's what I'm saying, bro. Even if you wanted the fucking dog shit, I gave it to you a month in advance. That's why I said it was better than 2020. I can't explain it. I didn't think that would happen, but I only used a small amount, and it did insane. But like, dude, you guys, yeah, I don't know what to tell you. I don't think I unleashed it. I just saw it coming from a mile away. That's why I was like, oh. Yeah, no, you guys got to get annoying. Or like I said, feel free. I'm open to a replacement, but like you guys keep saying, and dude, it's scary. And like, we should help them because it's good if Americans invest, bro, the right way. But like, I'm telling you, dude, it's like, there's a lot of people imagine how that last month played out. Look, and this was there this whole time.
Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you're having a wonderful day. I got another video for you. We did add to the long term, but I got something special for you because
keep it normal speed.
We are in a bubble. I will get right to the point. I will not waste your time. If you don't know, we just cut rates, and quite simply, we are either going to have a epic melt up following this action, or very shortly, in a couple months, we will be in a recession. So depending on what happens, I want you to be able to go about it wisely. And specifically, I want to talk about the bubble dynamics. I think you guys see what happened on Friday and everything leading into it this year. There's been a lot of crazy things. I would argue you know about it, but why I want to talk about it, because where we go from here, this is going to affect some of your guys' long terms. Believe me, you already lived through this. We're going to talk about it. So I hope you're ready for it. I love you all. I think it's going to be an exciting video. I'm going to go do it in a tent since we in a bubble. I think even the last time I wore this one, man, this was a GM.
Yeah. Oh, and I have two things. One, this is what I always wanted when I wanted to trade stocks. When I was growing up, I was like, I wish I could just know everything in advance. Imagine. But the other thing too, if you guys want to go to the farm, I'm not going to be there this weekend, but you have a couple of Chads pulling up and they're down to like host you guys. So you have to get a hold of Mitch and Derek. Otherwise, and then too, if you fuck it up, Mitch and Derek lose their jobs. So if I leave for a weekend, well, I'm not even going to leave. I'm just not going to be at the farm. And you guys fuck it up, you all lose your job. So whoever comes, you are responsible for them. Sound good? But yeah, you should reach out to them. They'll verify you, go through that. And be careful too. They think I'm like a prophet from the Lord. So if you are a threat, they're kind of cuckoo. So I told them I'm not, but they don't believe me. So yeah, at the same time, I'm the least crazy, at least if they showed up already, if you think about it. So yeah. But if you want to go, you could get in touch with them.
Yeah, me, son. So, yeah. So, let's go, man. It's going to take me a minute to open this. So, we have a lot to talk about, Chad. Yeah, bro, this thing got like 2 zippers. I don't know. Did I show the video when the Chad was here last time? But, oh, yeah. So, this is very culty. Oh, yeah. So, I don't know. But yeah, we're going to, all right, here, give me a minute. I kind of like this, but I'm kind of dizzy. Like, I like the pacing around, but yeah, so let me just tell you what I bought for the long term before I pass out. Essentially, sweet greens and Chipotle. And what I did different is that I went with half a deposit on each. So instead of buying 1 stock, I bought 2. And both of these stocks, I don't think they are perfect. I actually think both of them can go down a little bit more. I think sweet greens is low quality and can drop a lot more. I think Chipotle is high quality, but it's underperforming. And really the food sector, I mean, it's not really active. I mean, especially again with everything going on, the bubble, rate cuts, food in that industry, it's been underperforming. There's only been a couple of winners like pizza. But with that being said, I thought, the farmer never plants if he waits for perfection. And even though the small account has a lot now, our deposits are still small. I want to build dividends, but to even get that up, I would have to save for like another year. And then with rate cuts and everything going on, if we don't get an opportunity to add things at a low price, then if we do get that melt up, we want good quality. But I want to be aggressive about some of the deals that are on the table. And again, as long as we're using small amounts, that's kind of the advantage here. And even with this deposit, I grabbed 100 shares of sweet greens on the big account and then like 25 of Chipotle on the big account. I think 5 or 4 on the Chipotle on the small account, and then like 20 or so shares of sweet greens on the small account as well. So it's all on Twitter and YouTube, but these aren't big positions. They're not going to threaten our lead like we've talked about. Again, even Intel, we've done good by saving and putting there as well, mixed in with everything else. So I like it a lot. And I think depending on what other opportunities we get, if those names we just bought go lower, we could build around them. If they go higher, half a deposit can turn into a deposit, and then we could still focus on all those other names that we like. I even talked about it over the weekend. I like Bud and Tap. They're kind of on my list now as like a dividend value name. I don't think they're a diamond. I think NBO at a 4% yield is our diamond, but until then,
I'm still hunting. I don't think we have found it. The UPS, Target, those are really good on the list. Target's even looking a lot better with having a high yield, lower price, almost about to hit a new price of the year, and it has a stable divvy. So this is where we're at with it, but I thought this would be a good start, and now we still don't have cash. But it's been a good year, and now let's talk about the bubble, because I think some of you guys are about to get tempted, and we've done very well this year. But if you're going to compare it to crazy quantum and nuclear and all that, you may be tempted to add some of these things. And just remember, think for 10 years. And like I was saying at the beginning, you guys have already lived through this. A lot of what you're experiencing right now, just like the EV stuff, just like the solar stuff that you experienced at the beginning of like 2021. So it was good for a little, especially if you position good. But this is how, you know, again, fast forward, I see people and they send me their long terms. They'll have some of these hype names. So just be careful. I think there's a way to trade it. I'll give you guys some tips, but remember, long term is separate, and that's why we want it separate. And again, I mean, I'm focusing on food right now, while everyone's focused on a lot of other stuff. But then again, we did just get some intel there too, so it's going to be an exciting couple of years. Oh, freedom. Oh, it's raining now a little bit, but yeah. So I hope that's a good update for you, and I hope you have been paying attention to the rebuild, because like I said, we just got the farm here. I even got an update I'll give you guys with everything going on, but we want to be aggressive about the rebuild. And even though people are getting bubbly and getting crazy over all these trends, there's still a lot of good opportunities. And actually, even during bubbles, I'm going to give you 300 years of history, but during bubbles, you know, a lot of industries underperform. So focus on this, and now we'll talk about the other side of it. All right, yeah, so this is much more comfortable. So let's talk about the bubble now. If you couldn't tell, my problem isn't with playing these. And, you know, if you get like again, they cut rates. If we do get a .com style melt up before anything, or again, it'll probably end and, you know, bad things will happen. So, but this is how you guys could easily fall behind, because a lot of that clock I'm telling you about was a month ago, and it's related to this information. This is probably my second or third time putting it in a video. So, like I'm saying, if you haven't gone through the trading fraternity videos this year, don't ask me a fucking question. Because I think it could help you a lot, and I will be much more useful to you if you kind of give me a little bit of lead time in advance and you actually look into it. So, yeah, this is that little clock I'm telling you about. And again, think about it. It's still all playing. This is a month ago. This is a month ago. Is Trump live? Let's see. He's going to talk about IVF and then tease the other one, but they got some feeds up. He's just not there. Oh, Waller's live. Oh, and Tom Keene? And then Gavin Newsom? Wow. Gosh. Dude, Gavin looks like such a Nepo baby. I just see it. I'm kind of glad he got a little bit of a receding hairline. You know, it gives him some more normalcy. The Republicans always cave. They can't handle the hair loss. But, yeah, like fucking Trump got a toupee for crying out loud. But, yeah. No, Gavin, there's all separate meetings. I don't know. I don't think Gavin would be there. Oh, you had the peach bright and early, bro. Peru left-wing file motion to oust new president Jerry. I don't know where he's at. I could do Waller, but yeah, I don't know. You know what? I'm not going to play this video. You guys go watch it on your fucking own. It would have made you a fuck ton of money. I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. So, yeah, because I kind of want to hear Waller.
There seems to be an excess of communication right now. Everyone is talking at the Fed. within the administration.
Oh wow, dude, Tom
How
Keene.
do you interpret how everybody
Oh,
has
God
to get
bless
out
this
there
man.
and
I like
speak,
Tom
speak,
Keene.
speak?
You don't look too hot.
Well, one of the
I like him,
criticisms that's been leveled at the Fed for a long time is
He was one of my
engage in
favorite at
groupthink.
Bloomberg. I'm mad they got rid of him in the morning.
Every policy decision is a 12-0
He probably
vote.
needs schedule
no
change.
dissents,
I like him though a lot.
And that if you're all going to do exactly the same thing and think the same way,
I watched him
we
growing
don't
up.
need 19 of you. We need one. But what I always try to point out is it's through speeches and public speaking that everybody presents their views, and you can go out and listen, and they're not the same. So all the public speaking, the speeches are the way for us to show a diversity of opinions and thought about the direction of policy. This is a good thing. It's not a bad thing. Despite people saying it's a cornucopia of noise, it's actually signaling where people stand. When you come to the meeting, and I always try to stress this to people, we have to make a decision every 6 weeks. We do not get to kick the can down the road. And what that implies is that to get a reasonable, consistent opinion, we have to kind of compromise. You have to come to a decision. And that's why
he said they can't kick the can down the road.
11-1.
That's literally what they did for like 3
compromise
years.
somewhat on our positions to have a clear, consistent policy setting for markets and the American people.
Larry
I guess
Meyer,
3 years is
Washington,
just the driveway,
University
not down
of
the
St.
road.
Louis had a small book out of his time with Greenspan, a term at the Fed, and he was heated about the consensus vote, the need for consensus. Should we be more like?
I
the
thought
Bank
they
of
took him
England?
off,
It
but
seems
I
like a
low key
fist
just
fight
I
every
think he's
6
just
weeks.
getting old, dude.
Yeah, I'd like to avoid the fist fight.
Like they did replace a lot, but
I mean, I
like
personally
yeah,
think
I don't.
there's
It's
nothing
early, bro.
wrong
I mean,
with
Tom
dissents.
Keene used to do
It's
a lot
way
of
to
them, but he's
communicate
still up
differences
kind
in
of
policy
early.
Stances. You know, the whole complete
Doesn't he
consensus
do a morning
largely
segment
comes out
still?
of the Greenspan era, where it was like if you have a 12-0 vote, there's no doubt about what policy should be. Everybody agreed with the chair at that time, and that kind of tradition continued. But as the Bank of England has showed, there's no point of having 19 of us if we always do the same thing. So at that point, what's wrong with having a few dissent? I dissented at the July meeting. I don't personally think that shows anything about loss of faith in the chair or not the right policy, but that's the whole point, is to say, look, I'm on this committee to have my own independent view and make these points. And that's what people are doing.
We welcome all of you again, particularly worldwide, with Christopher Waller into this audience. Ed, can I call on you first for the first question in a bit? I'll let you come up with it, but I think we need to hear from Ed Cox.
I'm giving you a little time to think about it.
He's got a little time to think about it, and I don't want to get in the way of his good first question. I'm going to ask some questions about the speech. I got to keep the assembled press happy, or they won't show up again at Council on Foreign Relations. But I want to come out of this with a little bit more knowledge about who is Christopher Waller. We'll get to that in a minute. Number one question I get, the unemployment rate's 4.x%. Is a 4.x% unemployment rate now the same as a 4.x unemployment rate when you were at Washington State?
No, I think this is where we're in this unusual situation where we have this kind of zero net immigration instead of roughly, say, 400,000 a year. Actually, people leaving the country. And this is kind of, I've said this before, it's masking this decline in labor demand. So just think about if it's all immigration and you have a decline in labor supply, then the following things should happen. Employment will go down. Wages should be bid up if you have a labor shortage. Vacancies should go up. Quits should go up. That's what you should see with a very tight labor market and declining labor supply. When did we see that? 2022. 2021. That's what we saw, and that was a very tight labor market. If things are driven by a decline in labor demand, just kind of thinking about labor supply as constant, you'll see jobs fall. There'll be downward pressure on wages. There'll be downward pressure on vacancies. Quits rates will fall. That sounds to me more like what we're seeing in the data. So all that's happening with all the labor supply stuff is it's kind of masking the weakness of labor demand. And I've seen some estimates that if you had just kept the labor force participation rate where it was earlier, unemployment would be 4.95%.
Okay, well, that's an important touch point. I would suggest 5% is a much bigger number than 4.9%. Do you see an immediacy at the central bank and among the staff that the real unemployment rate is 5-ish and not 4.x%?
Well, that's where you got to take a position on what do you think the labor supply is doing. Is it fine that it's 4.3? Because the fact that people leave or drop out of the labor force, that's just a natural part of the economy. and therefore 4.3 is exactly reflecting things? Or do you think like I do, which is like, we're seeing falling labor demand, and if it wasn't for this decline in labor supply, we would be hurting. And there'd be no doubt about cutting rates. Absolutely no discussion about it. So that's where they were in this weird thing. We've never seen falling labor demand with a big fall in labor supply at the same time. At least not in my career that I can remember.
And that speaks to the technology. I'll get to that in a minute, and the AI thing. You mentioned 100 basis points, 4 rate cuts, 5 rate cuts, maybe is modeled in. You have to see what happens out there. Quote, despite more than 3 years of restrictive monetary policy, how many rate cuts do we need to get Christopher Waller away from the dreaded R word, restrictive?
Well, that's what I said. You have to kind of pick what you think is the neutral rate, which means you're neither stimulating or contracting the economy. That's the simplest way I describe what the neutral rate is. I just typically look at the SEP, the Survey of Economic Projections, and the median is around 3%. So for the committee as a whole, if it's 3%, you know, you've still got 125 basis points to go to get to neutral if everything starts coming back closer to target. And that's where I think things are going to go.
But the challenge, as you allude to in your speech, and I'm going to be aggressive here, I think of John Edwards and Two Americas. Basically, there's 2 R-stars out there right now. There's an R-star for the haves, including everyone on Park Avenue assembled, and there's an R-star for the have-nots who are flat on their back, including farmers in your Dakotas. Yeah. I mean, there's 2 R-stars.
Oh, fuck. Joe, it deleted your message. Can you say that again? My bad, dude.
Divided America.
Fuck.
Yeah, so that's actually.
I was trying to read it and expand it.
Oh. But typically, when people talk about
make a new one and tell me what that said.
I mean, there's how many interest rates are there? It's not like there's one that this is the unique R-star. So I gave a speech last May 2024 on R-star in Iceland, and I always have to look at it this way. For me, R-star is the policy rate. I control reserves in the banking system.
So where's the Cheeto always late? Do you think that comment
So for me,
is
that's
worthy
the
of a
real
$50
R-star
a
I
month
should pay
chat?
attention. Not the return on capital,
Of
not the
people
return
living
on
in the
AI,
future?
not
Do
the
you think
return
that's a
on
worthy
corporate
comment,
debt,
Mr. Bradley?
Return on safe liquid government
Do you think
debt.
those comments
That's
are going
the
to
R-star I
assist
look
us
at.
with
And that's
training
driven by
the
global
hive
demand
mind
for treasuries
in like our
versus
projects
global
like we did
supply of
yesterday?
treasuries. That's how I view R-star.
You think so?
I mean, your point is actually a very good
Where do
one.
you
that
think that fits in?
What's restricted? If you think about R-star as being
I've already made
restrictive,
my decision.
It's
I'm
more
just asking
restrictive
you.
for some groups
I'd like
than it
to
is
know.
for others. That's probably always true.
That
It's
way we
not
could
just
further
now.
the thinking for
But
everyone else.
it seems to be very
too.
stark this time that upper income groups, everything's fine, wealth is booming, the stock market's booming, they've got no problem financing stuff. I hear this from retailers. We pass tariffs through to high income customers.
Yeah, the other guy said
They don't
something
bat
long term. He said this
'Cause
looked
they-
important. I
Low income
accidentally
households,
clicked ban,
they can't
but
pass it through. They'll walk
I
out
can't
the
see
door.
it anymore for some reason.
So that's the tension. Again, one of these tensions that we have kind of this.
So yeah, if you make a
dichotomy
new
in the
account
economy
and get the
between
membership,
the
you
upper
can tell me
income
again.
groups, the lower income groups.
Off the script, off the speech, 3 esteemed market economists that I spoke to all said the same thing away from a typical monetary policy speech. They're looking at QT, QE, the state of our monetary policy forward, and the Fed's unique balance sheet. Give us an update on where you stand with the Fed's balance sheet and the end of quantitative tightening.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're at the point where we run in ample reserves. I gave a speech in July on our balance sheet. We run in ample reserves to ensure that there's sufficient liquidity in the banking system, in the financial markets, that people don't have to.
Yeah, so you guys should learn from Alex. He was the guy complaining about the music. That's what I'm saying. When you got fucking ops like that, that's why I can't give you guys the plays, because YouTube won't let me stop the people. It's so weird. YouTube will show the video to people that we ban, and then not the people that need it or who have actually subscribed with the bell.
We had an excessively large
but yeah, learn
balance
from
sheet
that.
with
Unfortunely, that's what we're gonna have to figure out at the next step, so that I could get you guys better stuff. In the meantime, we gotta operate like this.
And we're basically back to where we think we should
Thank
be
you for
just
your training.
ample. All the QE stuff is taken out in terms of how much liquidity. It still has affected the composition of our balance sheet, which was part of my speech I gave in July. Right. QE really distorted the maturity structure of our balance sheet, and our next choice, even though we get the level right, our next job is to try to get the composition right, and that'll take some time.
I shared this stage with Jason Furman up at Harvard, boring kids in Ec 10. In basic economics, and he had a brilliant tweet the other day where he said, we need to fold in the wealth effect into our consumption. You have brilliant consumption numbers in here of the haves, the upper decile. They're trading one block over on Madison Avenue.
All right, you're getting another flush here. A couple mineral plays. And banks are still at the fucking bottom, dude. So that hasn't really dissipated, even though equities danced around.
Yeah, so I mean, if you go back to some basic economic theory, one kind of rule of thumb is for every $1 of wealth you get, the real interest rate, say 3%, 2%, your consumption should go up by 2 to 3% for every dollar in wealth you get. So like 2 or 3 cents for every dollar of wealth. That's what we mean by the wealth effect. Now, those numbers also mean that wealth increase is permanent. It's not a one-time. If it's just a one-off, you're not going to change your entire consumption.
You have to tab it. I know. That's what I'm
so
saying.
This is always kind of the challenge with the wealth effect because
there's so many people who have the bell turned on this channel. Like they don't get notified. And then literally after the lockdown, I showed it. I sent it to YouTube. They're being really annoying about it.
So wealth
but then they'll make sure the people who have been banned or disruptive, everything, it'll make sure they get the video.
Pretty permanent, pretty big. It's not just a $1
little
increase.
demons.
I'm going to squeeze in a couple more questions. Yeah, this one's for the
But like I said, that's not going to stop us. Unfortunately, like I said, man, they're all hiding behind you good people.
Should we get rid of the dots?
Give me some time. We'll work it. We'll figure it out. But try to stick with me in the meantime, because then we could still run it up too.
I mean, I
you know what I'm saying?
Have
so
doubts
don't worry,
about whether
but
we should have the SEP
I mean,
at
you're
all.
either going to be with it or against it.
But I've been told that, what are you trying to hide then? Why would you take them away? Why would you not be as transparent about
what would
have them all on? I know, dude. It's really odd.
Well, you'd kind of be back to 2011. And then, we would say that. No, you could change the dots. I personally believe you should get rid of the calendar dating, get rid of the long run numbers, and just say, look, what's the next optimal policy over the next 6, 12,
KKR.
18 months? That's as good as we can.
Weren't they already linked to it?
So then it's
again, now even private equity, that's kind of part of the whole thing.
Wow, there's 3 meetings left in the year. How many more rate cuts this year? Who cares?
The media, we wouldn't have a job.
Amen.
So if I said, okay, at the September, he said, here's how many over the next 6 months, that's what the focus would be, not the end of the calendar year. So I would do that and then get away from the long run stuff. Just the best we can do is 6, 12, maybe 18 months out, any kind of forecast. We don't have any genius insights over everybody else on Wall Street who does this. So that would be one of the critical things I would do.
The fucked up part is I'm talking about the things you're even looking for too in advance.
One of my hallmarks.
So my meta is actually the original. It sucks.
And so we're going to find out who Christopher Waller is. I mentioned you were an accounting major and you got bored because the professor.
No, they care more. I have great engagement.
Economics.
It's fucked up.
1991 is a spectacular 13-page paper. I think it is. On prodigious game theory.
We got it. I want real life, dude.
What he didn't know in 1991 is he would be describing the game theory of 2025. I'm not going to get you in trouble with the Secretary of Treasury right now, but I'm going to review this. You set up in 1991 off of James Baker's word bashing, of where administrations bash the central bank, and there's coercion involved, the title of the paper, Bashing and Coercion. You sub out strong administrations and weak administrations. No, I'm going to not ask
more of them are going
what
down.
This administration is. But I want to take it forward to the present day. If we have bashing and coercion, and we have to be ex-ante, we're trying to get out front of the debate, the Fed's trying to glean what's going on, or we go true ex-post, literally in a Georgia school, where we wait for the data to come in. How does the bashing and coercion
we only have 30 minutes,
affect
45.
the monetary challenge of ex ante versus ex post? Do we become more ex post with an administration going after a central bank?
Well, like I said, I wrote this paper back because at the time there was a lot of discussion about central bank independence and institutional design. And the kind of presumption was once you pick the central banker, that's the policy. And every other external influence just kind of went away. And I was kind of looking around going, that's not what I'm hearing. That's not what I'm seeing back in the 80s, right? There was a lot of criticism. And so this idea of Baker's was, look, the administration can push the Fed one way or the other by publicly criticizing the Fed. Now, when I wrote this paper in 1989, 1990, I didn't think I'd be the one receiving it 25 years, 30 years later. So it was, when I reread the intro the other day, I was like, wow, what was I thinking, man? So But I mean, that is kind of the situation. And it's not just the current administration. This has been done forever. I mean, George Bush bashed Greenspan in
Burns and
92
LBJ.
costing him the election. Criticism had come out. And this was a norm until basically Bob Rubin came along, and then it was like, don't talk about the Fed. And that kind of became the rule through a sequence of administrations until President Trump came in 2018, started criticizing the Fed more publicly than had been done in a long time.
Does it change the behavior of a given central bank if we have bashing? You're trying to get out front. The public, the media want you to be out front, omniscient, have a crystal ball, or do you have to slam back to a massively ex post data dependency because you're getting crushed by whatever the executive branch is, whatever the nation is?
Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, this is what I tell everybody. I just go to work and I try to do my job the best I can. That's all I can do, right? A lot of this is just out of my control. You know, whether the administration's views drive people to push one way or the other, and, you know, I can't speak for anybody else, but I just try to do the best job I can using the theory that I know, the models of the economy that I use, and the data that I use. So, you know, the call I made in June, which was I was saying the labor market is not as good as it looks, and I was accused of being political. August 1st, that suddenly didn't look so political. The data came in exactly the way I'd said it was going to. So what sometimes looks like people say, they were interpreting this as purely a political position. Suddenly the data said, maybe it's not political. Maybe it was actually the right call. And so that's how I kind of think of this. You can always look at something and interpret it as political when it's not. That's kind of the problem in what we decide and what we do.
One more question. I'm going to go to the floor.
We're not leaving YouTube
Zoom worldwide
unless they forcefully make us.
I want to get this one question.
You guys don't notice? All of y'all been trying to get me to leave fucking YouTube, and then the moment all of your little fucking Andrew Tates and little fucking crackheads could get back on, they fucking jump on it within seconds.
Telling me, guess what? They're flat
YouTube.com/the market, baby.
There was a
very egregious how they are hiding.
You know, tariffs on China, and tariffs. China immediately responded by not buying U.S. soybeans. And I was at the St. Louis Fed. Some of the biggest soybean producers were in our district. I heard this. We had barges of soybeans lined up on the Mississippi River that were never going anywhere. And they only have a certain shelf life before they rot and they're gone. So we saw this. China was, I think, don't quote me exactly, but this is in the ballpark, but China was sort of bought like 75% of U.S. soybeans. Even later when some of this came off, soybeans never recovered. China was only buying like 30, again, don't quote me on the exact, but like 35%. And now it's back down to basically zero. So they've just shifted their entire supply chain to Brazil and South America, and they never came back. And so that's the one thing you want to be a little careful of is just because the supply chain gets disrupted and then you reverse something, it doesn't necessarily mean it comes back. Once it's changed, it's changed. So yeah, soybean farmers are typically getting hammered by China not buying their stuff.
I've seen the new Foreign Affairs magazine. It is brilliant. Shannon O'Neill with a great article on supply lines, which to me is the discussion in Q1 next year. Edward Cox, please, sir, with our first question.
Ed Cox, Committee for Economic Development of the Conference Board. Governor Waller, your excellent presentation, I appreciate it very much about the data, but there's several mega things out there for which the Fed is not responsible that I'm sure are in the background, are part of your consideration. And that's the extraordinary deficits, fiscal deficits going forward, and the value of the dollar. Could you explain how those might enter into your considerations as to what monetary policy should be?
Yeah, we have a kind of a long-standing view that we don't, praise or criticize fiscal policy. We take it as a given for doing our own job. But when you're running 6% deficits, 3% primary deficits, we know that that's just not sustainable in the long run. How long is the long run? I don't know. The old joke, I'll be dead before we find out. But we just know in economics you can't do it persistently. It's just not going to happen. So that has general concerns. The R-Star speech I gave back in Iceland was, if you think about R-Star and government debt, which is the closest thing that should matter for me, and reserves, it's a race between the growing demand for U.S. Treasury debt and the growing supply. For the last 40 years, demand has outstripped supply. And what does that mean? Prices go up, yields go down. At some point, if that reverses and the supply starts exceeding demand, the only way you're going to get the markets in the world to hold this stuff is you lower the price, which means the yield's going to go up. So for me, having good, stable fiscal policy is the best way to ensure that you don't have that happen. But again, this is not under my control. That's up to the Congress, White House to think about fiscal policy. And that's it. That's just my view on it.
Question over here, sir.
Mark Rosen, Adventuring Growth Capital. Governor Waller, you talked about AI, and you said that you thought short term it could have some risks for the labor market, long term was good for productivity, but a lot of forecasters are predicting that it will be negative for the labor market longer term, that it will reduce jobs. How does that impact monetary policy? How does it impact your dual mandate? And how do you think about it generally?
Right, so that's what I was saying. Is this a structural or a cyclical phenomenon with AI? So if you think about labor demand and employment, just over time just grows with the economy. What I worry about is AI being a structural, is there's this one-time permanent drop in the level of demand. The question is, does it continue to grow at the same rate as before? In which case it's just a level effect, employment growth and everything will continue on into the future, or does it drop and then it just stays flat? It not only drops in the level, but it has a lower growth rate of employment. I, as a policymaker, cannot do anything about that latter case. If it's just the fact that there's this kind of cyclical movement in labor demand, that's what I'm designed to have some influence over. But if it's a sharp structural drop, lowering the Fed funds rate 50 basis points isn't going to overcome that. And that's what we're trying to figure out is going to happen. Now, in the past, whenever we've seen technological change,
what the fuck did he just say?
Amazon,
I hope you listen to that.
You see jobs.
I know I've been quiet,
but
holy
fuck. You
fuck.
know which jobs are coming.
That was weird.
And usually there's a...
Or that was a little one. I don't know.
There's the jobs are slowly going away, new ones are coming on. This time what I worry about, it's so fast, it's happening so fast that the jobs go away faster than we can figure out what the new jobs are. The new jobs will show up. I have no doubt about that. It's just the timing may be a little more disruptive than technology we've seen in the past.
Thank you for that question. I forgot to ask that. You saved me there with that question. Here's a footnote from this speech this morning. Technology that improves labor productivity leads firms to demand more labor, not less. A huge body of America doesn't agree with that. And to your point on innovation, with the Nobel Prize, a celebration of the last 48 hours of Schumpeter and McCraw's prophet of innovation, this new innovation, the gains are going to go to a narrow group, or do you think they will, this is a cliché word, they will diffuse out across America?
Well, the history of technology is that they do diffuse. I mean, one of the things I pointed out in the speech yesterday, if you look back to Karl Marx's theory of capitalism, machines, robots would replace labor to produce all the output. Everybody would lose their jobs, be unemployed. There'd be this mass army of the unemployed. There'd be a social revolution. Capitalism would die, and we'd have a socialist utopia. That doesn't happen, right? I mean, when capital goes up, machines and technology go up, it makes labor more productive. And firms like productive workers. And that's why they want to hire them, because they don't want to keep their output constant. They want to produce more. And they need both of these things to produce more output. This is what we've seen in the history.
He just said something in that little fucking
the capital
segment.
Stock in the U.S.
That was
is
just, it was 2 sentences,
than
but
it was
just
in 1950.
I don't know,
in
kind
terms
of random.
Of machines, equipment, everything. The unemployment rate is exactly the same. So employment grows with technology. It doesn't go negative with it.
But to the president's point, and arguably his election, a huge body of America feels let down. We had productivity, we had capital deepening of an extraordinary amount, and the jobs went to China. That's his theme.
Yep.
With AI, are we going to replicate that in some unknown way, and the jobs are going to go to you name the place?
Well, even with the China shock, total employment in the U.S. has grown ever since the China shock. It hasn't gone negative or fallen. It's just go look at the employment rate. Go to Fred, my favorite data series. Pull up employment, look what it does. It just goes up. So yes, there are reallocations, jobs get lost and they go somewhere else or they get eliminated, but that's my point. New jobs, new things came up, people reskill, go into new areas. So when the China shock was hitting manufacturing, we had a whole IT, software, phone, technology information technology that created thousands and millions of jobs.
Is Fred an unfair advantage for the St. Louis Fed? Do they wake up every day different than any other bank?
Fred is one of the greatest gifts from the Federal Reserve to the planet.
There we go. Ma'am, please.
Hi, Ginger Cutler. I'm a term member at CFR. Governor Waller, just what you just said about how unemployment is the same as it was in 1950 and the China shock didn't really necessarily affect employment. I guess I want to harken back to what you said about where wealth is concentrated in the hands of Americans, right? And how you said that the bottom 60% of households own 15% of wealth and 45% of spending. I'm curious how that figures into what you just said about unemployment being the same as it was in 1950 and the China shock ultimately not really having an effect on the labor market. I'm curious how inequality factors into that.
Yeah, so I was just trying to get at with employment, you get sectoral shifts. Some sector goes down, some other sector goes up. In my speech yesterday, I said, look, when automobiles came up, if you were making saddles or wagons, your jobs were going away. But those same skills got transferred over to producing chassis for cars, making car seats. The same skills, they just had to transfer. So those jobs went away, but other jobs came up that took their place. That's why you can't just look at one sector and say, oh, that's going to kill the entire economy. I don't believe that's going to happen with AI either. In terms of wealth and income and inequality, this has been an issue in the U.S. for the last 40, 50 years. There's been a tremendous increase or a reasonable increase in wealth inequality, income inequality. For me as a policymaker, I have one instrument. I can't deal with inequality. It's really not in my toolkit. I can't say, here's an interest rate for this group, as Tom was saying. I can't say, here's an interest rate with that R-star, and here's an interest rate with that R-star. That's not in my set. I have to look at the aggregate. It's really my only choice. Mm-hmm. Can I look at these discrepancies and think how I might want to lean one way or the other? Sure, I can. You know, we kind of got criticized for that before with our last framework, that we were kind of leaning a particular way. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just there's very little we can do about it. And that was my issue with our last framework. I could care about this, but there's very little I can do with it for particular groups.
I think we have a question here in the digital world.
We'll take the next question from Chris Thomas.
Good morning, Governor Waller. Thank you for the time today. Ex-Intel, ex-McKinsey. Now I help global companies think about their global footprint and where they put advanced manufacturing facilities. And the constant refrain is that no matter how high the tariff, the U.S. is just completely uncompetitive.
You help
and now
these companies with their stamina?
Do business, especially if you're building something. To what extent does this matter for the growth and success?
I haven't cracked a joke in like 30 minutes, dog. Come on.
Done about it. I've heard that even if it's 100% tariff, it's still cheaper to manufacture in Taiwan or Vietnam or Japan or Korea or China than in the U.S.
Yeah, I mean, this is way outside my wheelhouse, I have to say. You know, trade policy, you know, particularly worrying about one sector over another, manufacturing versus others. This is just something I can't make those decisions. That's what the president got elected to do, and he's following through on his promises. Whether you get stuff onshoring or not, I don't know. We'll see. We did learn something with the pandemic, that supply chains stretched across the globe are pretty fragile. And there was a lot of emphasis on getting nearshoring, maybe not onshoring, but nearshoring as a result. Over time, you know, if tariffs were big enough, I'm pretty sure you'd bring your factory back. There is a price at which you will bring it back. It's not infinite. So that's what I don't know. We'll see how this all works out, whether there's a lot of incentives to bring stuff back or not, or whether the people that, you know, you bring these jobs back, whether people want to do them or not. I mean, in the U.S., we've moved into much more of a service sector mentality, And the idea of screwing lug nuts on a tire for 8 hours a day is not something most Americans typically want to do.
Well, I'm not going to ask you about bananas and tariffs. I don't think we're growing bananas. Sir, over here, please.
Hi, Andrew Watchlist with Morgan Stanley. Governor Waller, thank you for your comments. I want to ask you to say a little bit more about what you are intending to convey with the phrase
you're
to a more
now
neutral
Nibis on the
stance
low.
policy.
Remember, that ran up with Oracle
In a sense,
and shit.
if you're restrictive, just cutting once is moving to a more neutral stance of policy.
Yeah, they all
Or
faded,
is
bro.
this describing
NASDAQ's not
sort
as
of a
bad. The Russell
process
took
where
another 0.5%,
over several
dude. You're at
meetings
down
you have
2.5, quarter from
idea
the
of
last
a
low.
range in mind that is more neutral, and you're describing a process of moving towards that range.
Yeah, I'd say it's the latter. It's really the process. So if you're at neutral and you think you're restrictive and your policy rate is set up here, what's going to cause you to bring it down? You think inflation's coming back to target? You think the labor market is either stable or weakening? You want to kind of bring it back towards neutral. It doesn't mean you go below and you want to stimulate the economy. Things would have to really get bad. We're not seeing that in the labor market, that we want to go below neutral. Or I'm not seeing it. I can't speak for anybody else. The debate right now is about inflation. Inflation's running 3%. It's way over our target. It's been above target for 4 years. Why are you lowering rates? So you have to say, what is the outlook for inflation? And that's what I've argued, that any tariff effects are going to be temporary. You look, this is a classic line in central banking. You look through those things. You think about what is going to be inflation 12 months from now, not when the next 12 months. So that's what I'm doing. And in that world, I see inflation coming back down to target. I see a softening labor market. So I want to bring things back to target. I don't want to go below target right now because inflation is above target.
In Q&A, we go to tenths of a percentage point. You were talking whole numbers up there. You say 2% is where the Fed is right now. What is the latest thinking you see around the raging debate to take a Taylor rule, look at the output gap, look at NARU and all the rest of the mumbo jumbo, and plug in a more normal 2.2 or 2.4 or 2.6% run rate versus the decades-long hope for a 2% inflation?
Change the inflation target?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's always a good argument or debate about should you pick a point or pick a range. A lot of central banks in the world, they run with a range. They don't seem to have big problems with that. Like the Bank of Canada has a range of 1% to 3%. So, there's often a question if you're just as happy with 3% inflation as 1%. No.
Should we be?
No.
Should we
They
be?
want 2, but they're not going to do crazy stuff to get it to 2. That's the key point. You'll get there. You'll take your time, but you're not going to do drastic policies to drive it to exactly 2. I think 2 is a good thing. I'll give you my spiel on it. What's the real value of having a 2% target with a particular price index? It holds you accountable. If I just said, inflation in general, somewhere between 1% and 3%, there's a lot of loose things that go on in there that I could always slippery slide, say, I did my job. What are you talking about? That happened with the money growth targeting back in the early 80s.
I thought he was about to say that's what happened with Powell.
Good, but M2 was lousy, but next month M2 was...
I say, what?
Remember how the world stopped? I think it was Thursday at whatever it was, 3:30 for M1, M2.
Yes, money growth target. So I like 2% because it holds me accountable.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, now, you want to hold me accountable?
Jesus will hold you accountable, you sinner.
2.
Why do you need a made-up number made up by men to do the right thing, mother?
Friends.
I'm sorry, I didn't. I just
in the year 2000, if I had told you the Fed would keep inflation,
I'm a
between
sinner
1%
too,
and 2%
brother. I'm a
for
sinner too.
decade,
Don't even let me be the.
Everybody in the year 2000 said that is a phenomenal monetary policy success. But because it ran 1.7,
let he who has not held interest rates back in the event of transitory causing mass inflation throw the first stone.
1.7, not 2, was a failure. But if I'd asked you before any specific 2% target, you said 1 to 2. That's amazing. That is phenomenal.
KKR could be your other
that's
shitty
the
one.
Danger with the 2%.
For the, but yeah, KRE and the banks are still getting
murked. If you don't hit
murked.
it, you start saying you're failing and hitting your target. That's why I actually kind of like a range myself.
I want to talk one final question here from me about the culture and the fabric of America and our economics. There is such a conceit and bias and a distrust back to 1907 or even before of 3 zip codes in Manhattan, or maybe the corridor from Washington up to Boston. You represent a part of America some would say the backbone of America, from Bemidji, the Dakotas,
Eli
Bemidji,
Lilly and
all the way out to
McKesson getting
Washington
fucked.
State, and then to St. Louis.
I think it's just the
How
overall.
would the Federal Reserve System
That's what I said. Those
change
contracts are weird,
under
bro.
a
That
Chairman Waller,
randomly went,
given
but then
that
now it faded.
cultural geography versus every day the East Coast certitude. It's the heritage of the modern economic Fed.
Well, I mean, this is one of the brilliant aspects of the design of the Fed. I've studied the structure of the Fed for 40 years now. The whole idea was to say,
Dog,
look,
you
you
work
need some
there. Why are you
political
studying?
accountability in D.C., but you want to have a lot of this outside of D.C.
That's your
That was
that's
the
your
typical
current
grassroots,
occupation.
Get people away from D.C.
The fuck?
Talk to the American public. I always say we're the one government agency that has contact with all parts of the U.S. through our 12 districts and all the branches in those districts. Everybody can come talk to a president of the bank. They go out regularly, speak to the public. You can come talk to them. You can have a conversation with somebody. I mean, the only other institutions that have that kind of contact are the IRS and the post office. And we typically don't want to have them knocking on our door. So that's one of the big advantages of the Fed in our structure of having people on the outside. There has been debates forever of moving more political accountability to the Fed or moving it away. Sometimes people's views shift back and forth depending on what the situation is. But I believe the basic structure that we have has served the country well by representing all the country in the decision-making
Mute your
process,
speakers. You
just
might hear
not
that a couple of times.
handful
I'm
of
trying
votes in
something.
Washington, D.C. So that, I think, is important. I would say, like I said, for me, one of the critical things, I'd change the S&P. I would encourage dissent. I'm not somebody who's afraid of, like, oh, if you're dissenting
Plug
against
your
what
ears.
I'm pushing, that lowers my confidence or my
It'll be
credibility.
so much better for
I
us.
just don't see
5-4
it. I don't see
votes.
that.
It'll be. I highly recommend lots of dissents.
I'm trying to scam
It'll
them.
make
Hold
the
on.
Fed show better.
Well, I just think that's the whole point of it. That was the idea of the structure, was you put 19 members so you get this diversity of views from around the country coming in, different points of views. If everybody comes in, no matter what part of the country, no matter what the situation is, and you always say the same thing, we don't need it, you know? Just have 3 governors and that's it at the board and you're done with it.
Governor Waller, thank you for
Got
joining
him.
the Council on Foreign Relations.
Thank you. They're clapping for me. I didn't expect. Thank you. I didn't know. Okay, hold on. All right, man. You only got like 20 minutes. Nice. All right, we're good. We're in the game. Like EA. Oh, dog. Yeah, bro, they're fucking damn. All right, so someone else figured that one out. That was funny. All right, I need to tell you guys something about the banks. So, you guys could do good, but I need everybody to realize that any of the bank premiums right now, if they get fucked up, you'll make money. But if the banks have a bounce and you buy a put, you're going to lose 70%. Do you understand? It's not 50%. You're going to lose like 70 to 90%. They're all fucked up. That's why I just did what I did. I had to go fucking hunting for one. But they're fucking it up. They're really defensive on that chain. All of them. But at the same time, it's like, yeah, you can't this isn't, if it bounces, you're fucked. Do you understand? So these aren't the ones you want to go big on unless you know something. But then at the same time, it's like, it's still, bro, if any of that shit moves, you're fucked. If it bounces up. If it goes down, the premiums are going to keep doing this panic dynamic. But any move up, you're going to get clobbed. So good luck. And God bless America, land that I love, with the long time and long time. Save the 10 by the low, sell the 9. From the houses to the options to the long time filled with gains. God bless Chadadonia. I'm sorry. I literally just forgot what I was going to type in after that. I fucked myself up. Well, we only got 50. I don't think it was that important, though, because we're pretty much done. So, yeah, GitLab. Ooh, that's a big lab, dog. Hey, yo, GitLab, son. Oh, they already fucked those up, though. Oh, I'm down. Oh, that's too many. Oh, damn. All right, got one. Damn, I didn't fill all of them. GTL, that's 4%, bro. ALGT's going as well, too. You might have something. I don't have the news on that one. Yeah, that's decent, bro. All right, yeah. They already hit, but I have no idea what that is. That's too big. That's 4% off the bottom. That's not nothing. I'll tell you that much. That was after the song, too. All right, make it. It's panic bidding, so they went up, but I don't know if it's up for anything beyond that. That looks like a buyout, but I can't confirm yet. We only have the 4 or 5% move. That's too big, though. That's something. That's something, brother. That is something. Again, next week is going to be better if you didn't get them already, but yeah. From the long time. Yeah. Where is it? Jeez, bro. 5%. U.S. agencies withdraw principles for managing climate-related financial risk. Oh, that's good. Datadog to explore. Oh, wait, it's Datadog. Oh, that's great. Oh, I was like, fuck, did we get the wrong one? No, you're on the right one. Buyout. Yeah, we on the money, baby. I got you. Even after the fuck-up song. Nice. I still would wait for more confirmation. We got a little bit of it, but yeah. Oh, those fucking hit. If you got the first on the early ones, those are really, really good. But then some of the bids are not there. So yeah. That's not on the news yet, is it? How many times has that happened today? And then y'all complained hella yesterday, so now I gotta double the delay again. See? You see why, you guys? Stop. And Trump live? Alright, well, make your fucking 1000%. Call it a day. Or you push till tomorrow if you want. Yeah. GG's, dog. GG! I made the grinding look easy. Let me get homeboy.
Advocate Samantha Bush.
You only got 13 minutes.
For years, American couples struggling with infertility have faced crushing costs in their quest to start a family, and IVF is among the most expensive treatments of all. A single round of IVF in the United States can cost up to $25,000, can actually go a lot higher than that.
They said delay, bro. I'm telling you. They sent me essays. He said, I thought you cared about the little guy. Dog, I gave you 5 things that above Twitter, before fucking the TV. And that's on an almost 1 minute delay. Are you fucking with me? The Lord is alive and well, brothers.
You know where ending all of that.
Repent.
Called favored nations.
The
and
fuck?
We're ending it, and we're ending it.
But you just said the F
pretty
word.
fast.
I know.
Nobody
You need to
thought
repent.
We'd be able to do it, and we've done it. Drugs are going to come down. Drug prices are coming down. 400%, 200%, 600%. Numbers that nobody's ever seen before. Great for Medicare, Medicaid.
Yeah, they're
even
gone
Social
now.
Security.
I
Great
mean,
for
you could
everything.
still, if you know the deal offer or how it is, they
So,
fucked up that whole
it's
chain, though.
something
That's
to me
it. It was
it's very exciting.
500%
I'm bugging
minimum.
him and
Otherwise,
Bobby
depending
all
on
the
if you
time.
got in the
How are
money
we
or
doing
not,
with
that's
that?
up to you.
And we're doing really good, Bobby.
You got 8% even on share. Yeah, that's a
Other
fucking hitter,
countries
dude. That's a banger.
Are agreeing to it because if they don't, we put tariffs on them, and then they agree. So it's amazing. It's amazing how that worked out. But as an example, in London, you'd buy a certain drug for $130, and even less than that, I guess $88 as of a count a month ago. And in New York, you pay $1,300 for the same thing. So now we're going to be paying, instead of $1,300, you'll be paying about $150. And they'll be paying $150 too. We're going to pay the same thing. Favored nations.
Okay, I made free at
It's a beautiful thing.
1,000%.
And we've been ripped off by
I
the
got
whole world
a couple
for
left,
a long
but
period
I'm
of
done.
time. One of the most popular fertility
I don't even
drug
know the full details.
regimens cost over
Got 'em.
$5,000 per cycle, as an example. Wow. Largely as a result of these unsustainable prices, 70% of the employers
Like I
do
said,
not
you
offer
wicked people
insurance that
keep
covers
pissing me
IVF.
off. You know that?
Therefore, most
I do
couples with
so much
fertility
worse
challenges
when
are
I'm
paying
not
these
pissed
costs
off at
entirely
evil.
out of
You know
their own
that?
pockets, which is
I don't know
not
how to explain
really
it.
possible
I don't know how come you guys
to
haven't
do.
realized
Oh,
it
look
yet.
what we have.
If you turn, I'll stop if you turn from destruction.
bought
Otherwise, oh, I take pride in this one.
put into the
We're
regular
gonna
pool
fuck
pack.
all
That's
of you
very
guys
good.
up. And I'm talking to you, Bloomberg, nobody else. All my retail people, like I said, they're hiding behind you.
In the Trump
to fuck you.
administration, we want to make it
Of course it's still going.
easier for all couples to have babies, raise
The
children,
Lord is
and
with
start
you, brother.
families
All
they've
right. Well, you
always
better wrap it
dreamed
up. You only
about.
got 10 minutes, Doc.
That's why today I'm pleased to announce that after extensive negotiations, EMD Serrano,
That was like the
largest
fifth one today.
fertility drug manufacturer
Like
in
I
the
said,
world, has agreed
on
to
the day they
provide
complained
massive
about the
discounts
delay
to
a
all
lot.
fertility drugs they sell in the United States, including the most popular drug of all, the IVF drug, Go-Nal.
GoFundMe?
So it's Go-Nal-F. Is that a proper pronunciation?
Golon
Close
F?
enough, right?
Who makes
Go-Nal-F.
that shit?
As part of this,
Go find who make that shit. I can't
EMD
spell it.
Serrano will list their fertility drugs online at trumprx.gov at very, very heavily reduced
Why do I?
prices,
I'm starting to
prices
not
that
like you,
won't
brother.
even believe.
Goodbye.
And
What do you mean,
ultimately,
why?
that's because
You're like
of
the other
favored
guy with the
nations.
ego check yesterday.
In
Why do you
addition,
guys
the
sit
FDA
here
will
and
be
try to
working
like
with
check
the
me
company
on
to
either
expedite
side?
review and
You know what I'm
approval of
saying?
another common fertility
Ego. Don't let him
IVF
change you.
drug,
Just
and
fucking go
currently
focus.
It's selling in Europe.
Leave me
It's
alone. That's annoying.
Pergovirus.
You're seeing
And,
60?
that's a
I don't know. I can't
sound
confirm any of that.
Pergo
We were just so
Why
fucking
can't you
early
name
and I knew it
these
was big.
names?
I just didn't know though. But they were cheap enough. So like I said, I already made it free at like 1,000%. Everything else is up to you on if
Upon
you like the
approval,
profit
this
or
drug
not.
would directly compete against a much more expensive option that currently has a monopoly in the American market, and this will bring down costs very significantly. And the other one's going to have to come down also. Finally, EMD Serrano has agreed that all future drugs and
if you send me an email explaining, I'm blocking your email. That's not what I'm looking for.
Most favored
Just really listen to what the fuck I've been saying.
After this for a long
That's all I've
time.
been asking.
And we started the process in the last
Yeah,
administration.
go
and then
fire!
We had a little thing called COVID that came up. We had to focus on that.
Dude.
Did a good job on that too.
Money.
And they'll bring a significant portion of their drug manufacturing back to the United States. So they're going to bring it largely back into the United States.
Yeah,
And
they're
that's
saying
for a lot
60,
of
but-
reasons, but primarily because of the election result, November 5th, and maybe most importantly because of the tariffs. Because if they do it here, there are no tariffs. So we're going to be very close. I think by the end of this year, we're going to be very close to $20 trillion in investment. As an example, the Biden administration
Oh,
had,
Merck makes Gandalf?
less than $1 trillion, substantially less than $1 trillion for 4 years, Maria. Can you imagine? 4 years, less than one. We're going to break $20 trillion of investment, and we're already over $17 trillion, and that's in 8 months. Can you believe that? And he was at less than $1 trillion. And in addition to that, he had open borders, allowing millions of people to pour in. What an administration that was. Worst president in history, by far. As a result of these actions, the per-cycle cost of drugs used in IVF will fall by an estimated 73% for American consumers, and the numbers are going to actually be very substantially higher as time goes by when it really kicks in. For most of, I mean, think of those numbers. You know, I told the story last time because we were with Pfizer, and Pfizer's doing something very similar. But I told them that my first term, I was so proud of myself because I was the first president in 28 years where drug prices
all
went
F
down
is what they really call
for
it.
the
I'm
year.
gonna call it Gandalf.
And you know what? They went down 1/8 of 1%. But
Mike,
I was
MRK bought it off
1/8 of
Serrano.
1%.
Wasn't that recently?
Now I'm getting them down, Maria, 500, 600, 800%. In some cases, even more than that. It's hard to believe. But I was proud. I said, oh, wow, I'm the first one. 1/8 of 1%. And I was proud of that. Now I realized, and I called a news conference. Some of you were at that news conference, actually. And I said, ladies and gentlemen, congratulations. We've gone down by 1/8 of 1%. And now we're going down 500, 600, 700, 800%, Richard. So it's really something. For most administrations and all of the people involved in this kind of thing, this action would be a crowning achievement of their agenda for fertility health. But for us, it's really just the beginning. It's just the start. It's one of many things we're doing. Today, we're also taking
gold
steps
is
to
ripping.
vastly expand
Bonds didn't drop.
access to insurance coverage.
I think we're going to end at the checkpoint, dog.
Care,
Look at that.
IVF, something that,
yeah, you got 5 more
know,
minutes.
was not covered. Effective immediately for the first time ever, we will make it legal for companies to offer supplemental insurance plans specifically for fertility. That's never been done before. We're signing it in today with what we sign. Americans will be able to opt in to specialized coverage just as they get vision and dental insurance. They're going to get fertility insurance for the first time. So I don't know. You know, I don't know how well these things are covered. I see the Democrats like to take credit for all of the things we do. We do the things and they take the credit. But I figure if you do enough of these, eventually people are going to figure it out. The Democrats have done nothing. This will make all fertility care, including IVF, far more affordable and accessible.
I see you, G.
And by providing coverage at every step of the way, it will reduce the number of people who ultimately need to resort to IVF because couples will be able to identify and address problems early. The result will be healthier pregnancies.
It shouldn't be. I don't think.
Babies,
Listen,
and
I
many
hate it
more
now. I'm
beautiful
not a fan of
American
it.
Children. It's a big factor. It's a big deal.
Yeah, but the GDRX, I think it's trash. It didn't get any love last time, and they failed it. But the premiums are moving way too much for no damn reason. So I don't think that one's gonna hit. I think that one's low quality.
Actions ever taken by any president to bring the miracle of life into more American homes. And I will say Katie was great. As you know, she's a great senator from Alabama. She's the first one that told me about this. I had not known too much about it.
I want to be a great man,
very
too.
rapidly together. We had everything passed, and Alabama then took care of it and passed it. Within a week, everything was
All right, man.
done.
You only got a couple minutes
Really
right below
something.
VWAP. At our
So I wanna
checkpoint, you got
thank
some
Katie
free
and
ones,
Brett.
but and then the
There's no
GitLab.
deeper
Yeah, gold
happiness
is
and joy
fucking
of raising
ripped.
children, and now
At the
millions
end,
of
dude, that
Americans
was kinda odd.
struggling with infertility will have a new chance to share the greatest experience of them all. So I'd like to thank all of the people that are here, and I think we'll start with Dr. Oz and Ms. Horn. We'll
You
go
should have
through
bought
the
the
list
locked
and
in with
we'll,
the profits instead
listen.
of breaking the rules.
And
now
yesterday
you're
I did this, and I stood for about an hour and a half as people spoke. And I said, this time
We've been
I'm
doing
sitting
this
right
every
there.
day all year, you guys. That's why you don't
I'm
need to
gonna
tell
watch
me.
you.
That's
I
what I've
stood
been
for an
trying
hour
to
and a
tell
half
you.
Like this. I said,
I say
gotta
just
be
get with
kidding.
it, bro.
Here we go. It was
Tell
one
a friend.
after another. It
Otherwise,
was wonderful listening to
you
him.
might be the
But I
blocker.
said, if I have to do this every day, Bobby, should I stand or sit? Thank
Bobby,
you,
can you help us?
Please, Dr. Oz.
Mr. President, I'm going to jump in here real quick. I want to start by thanking President Trump. Sir, from the very first phone call we ever had,
Crocs is ripping. Deck had one earlier.
your support was strong.
Is it the Trump? That's what I was saying. The Trump RX shit, but
unwavering.
GRX is
And
just they're
because
probably
of
pumping it.
you,
I don't like that one though.
Millions
That was a
of
loser.
Americans are going to have a greater opportunity.
Coles now. Oh shit, I accidentally muted it and paused it.
The greatest gift, in my opinion.
Yeah, dude, you only got like no time, bro.
Your support, your administration support, it's a game changer.
It only
All of us
sounds
here
like
today
complaining
are
if you
aligned.
missed it.
This
But if you've
is
been
a
following along,
celebration
you
of
actually
life.
hear the
It's a
motivation
celebration of
and the
parents.
excitement
It's a
and the
celebration
love and
of
everything.
Families.
So let me
And
ask
it's a
you, Mike,
celebration for
why are
those
you
people
a
who want
bitch?
to one day be parents
You know what I'm saying?
themselves.
You just complained
I
about
think
complaining.
every parent
You
can
fucking idiot.
attest, and I certainly do myself, that the greatest gift that God has ever given
Just
me
like
is
the other
ability
dude, the ego about
be
the ego.
We want more people to have that opportunity.
I know,
We
they don't
wanna make
understand the
that
Serrano
easier
one yet. It's
and more
okay.
affordable.
Yeah, you guys got it.
IVF is what makes the difference for so many families that are facing infertility. So you've
Or
seen
there
the
might be
numbers. It's
confusion, but
either
I
one
think
in
the Merc
8
is going to
couples,
tie
or
in.
some people say as much as 1 in 6 are actually experiencing issues with fertility. It's 9% of males and at least 11% of females that are facing these challenges as they work to build their family. The recommendations today that President Trump has set forth are going to expand IVF coverage to nearly 1 million more families.
30
And they're gonna drive down
seconds.
cost
I'm sorry I have to let them know. But yeah, wrap it up, bro. We've been done for a
Mr.
minute.
President, this is the most pro-IVF thing that any president in the history of the United States of America has done.
Dog, imagine just paying $5 to help me line up my comedy show.
And Mr. President, it's your leadership. You
That's
are
just
the
kidding.
reason why the Republican
I'm getting
Party
good
is
practice.
now
I'm getting
the
good. They
party
gotta
of
pay for
parents.
it though. You want the
We
crowd
are
work?
the
It's
party
$5,
of
son.
Families.
Let's try it.
This is why when Senator Cruz and I worked last
Ding,
year,
ding, 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 ding.
every single Republican senator to sign
That's
on
it,
and
man.
say
That's the
that
day,
they
guys.
supported
I hope you had a
nationwide
good one.
access
That was
to
fucking
IVF.
crazy again.
And just for the record, IVF is legal and accessible in all 50 states.
All right,
and
man.
President Trump
I guess you get to hear
taking
about
this action
IVF instead
today
of Uncle.
to lower costs.
But I love you. Thank you for your
to
time. I need to go
bring these
bathroom. I'll
issues
come
to the
back and we'll
forefront
see. But drop your GG.
and to enact
But that's just
solutions
stay alive,
for
dude.
people working
Stay
to
in the
start their
game.
families.
I hope these words
I want
hit
you to
you
know
with
it's
motivation.
significant,
You see the
and there's more to
opportunities to
come.
become a bitch.
But
Don't do
this
that.
isn't the only
Don't
thing
do that.
we've done
Get a launcher.
to prove that we're the party
You knew
of
about a
parents
bubble a
and we're the
month
party of
before it
families.
bubbled bigger
If
than
you
any
look
bubble
at
in the world.
Working family tax cut.
So what are we
guys,
talking about?
He made sure
Praise
that
God.
hard-working
Let's go,
parents
baby.
were front and center in that legislation. You know, whether it was child tax credits
What a day.
being expanded and made permanent, whether it was Trump accounts that are going to change the game for so many parents, or whether it was childcare. So for decades, we have heard Democrats talk about childcare. President Trump actually took action on the affordability and accessibility of childcare. We know that 1 in 4 families say that they hesitate to have more children because of the cost and because of childcare cost. For the first time, this man actually took steps to change the dynamics for hardworking parents. So of the 3 tax credits that he reformed and the working families tax cuts, 2 of them had not been touched in 2 decades, and 1 of them had not been touched since 1986. So President Reagan was in office the last time anybody did anything about it. But you changed the game on that, and I was proud to lead that effort in the Senate. And so on behalf of moms and dads, on behalf of grandparents and sisters and aunts and uncles and brothers and people who are looking to expand their family, we say thank you. Thank you for all you do to support families in this country and make a healthier environment and an easier one for us to grow the very most important thing. God bless.
So nice. Thank you.
So let's set the stage. Put it in perspective, 2 weeks ago, as President Trump alluded, a leading U.S. drug manufacturer came into this room and agreed to do something none of us thought was possible. A most favored nation agreement with numbers, again, inconceivable. Last week, a company from Europe, a global leader in the pharmaceutical sector, came to this office, made the same kind of commitment for most favored nation pricing, again, because the president insisted on it and was persistent, and he alluded to the fact that he was calling Secretary Kennedy and me quite a bit. He definitely was, with great insights into the process and would not hold back. But I think what you're seeing today is something even larger. It's larger because we're now showing that MFN is a tool that can get other initiatives going as well. We are revealing perhaps the most important MFN opportunity at all, because it's about procreation. It's about babies. It turns out that MFN is a tool for a lot of things, and it goes without saying that you get the drug pricing down, but lots of other business necessities become possible when that occurs. So Secretary Kennedy and I, who's a wonderful leader, talk frequently about family. I think the reason he's a great leader, and the president as well, is because they have large families and they take pride in the joy that it gives us. But many families, as Senator Britt alluded, do not have the ability to have children. But it turns out that it's about 1 in 3 families, a much higher number, that don't have the number of babies they desire. They're under-babied. So this president committed to address that during the campaign, and he is delivering on that today in a way I don't think anyone thought was possible. We are opening the door with MFN pricing and tariffs that support it, Secretary Lutnick, with a new approach to make reproductive medicine more affordable for Americans. Now, I know what you're all thinking, and you're probably right, there are going to be a lot of Trump babies. I think that's probably a good thing. But it turns out the fundamental creative force in society is about making babies. It's about creating. And this country, the one that President Trump is leading so beautifully, has been a country of abundance, not scarcity. To have abundance, you have to address the fact that we had 3.6 million babies last year, which is beautiful. 3.6 million miracles. That's 500,000 less babies than we would ideally have had, even to replace our current population. Building on the success of the last 2 weeks, our team, led by the head of Medicare, Chris Klump, who's standing over there, and Ina Hernandez, have negotiated a spectacular MFN deal to reduce the cost of IVF drug prices by $2,200 a cycle. That's nearly half of the price that it had been. The most prescribed drug in this category in America, made by MD Serrano, is described over here. And you'll notice, President Trump, these are discounted from $242 to $10. I don't know what the math is on that. We can't even calculate it. It's a lot. It's too high to calculate without a more studied approach. But I give it up there because that number of $10 will apply for every American who earns less than $115,000 a year. That's 70% of the American people. The remaining folks who are able to make more will have to pay a tiny bit more, but it's still most favored nation pricing, no different from what the Europeans are willing to pay. Now, to make this deal happen, Chris and Inma had to do something special. They had to actually not just get the drug price down, but get the middlemen to let it go as well. And Mr. President, we've met with the middlemen in the past. They're now joining the MFN movement. I want to thank Express Scripts Freedom Pharmacy and then CVS's Specialty Pharmacy, because they were willing to stand up and do the right thing for the American people by answering the president's call and slashing their prices. Now, this announcement also encompasses a remarkable move from Marty Makary. And Marty Makary is, of course, the leader of the FDA, but he has ongoing efforts to accelerate their approval of innovative medicines that will further reduce the price and make this whole process more seamless for the American people. Now, you're about to hear about a spectacular new program that's been alluded to. But one of the architects of that program, Heidi Overton, Deputy Director of the White House Domestic Policy Council, is going to take us through the exciting details of what this is going to offer for the American people, especially those who are in the workforce. But first, we think you should hear from Libby Horn. Libby is EMD Serrano's head of fertility. She brings both professional expertise and a personal connection to this work. She has 3 beautiful daughters, and she has personally...
So, Chattadonia, you could listen to it on your own. Oh, I need to go relax. I gotta go ball, actually. We gotta ball up, dog. So, Chattadonia, enjoy your evening. I don't know if we'll have a watch list tonight. So, I gave you yesterday's, but maybe go through that. Again, that's how you say, we'll see, man. So, I think you're already prepared for random list, but I don't know if YouTube will tell you. So, I'll try to tweet it out or something. But what a day, man. What a day. And just as of lately, I hope you guys get with everything that's happened. Because if you can't handle this, bro, I mean, it's only going to get a lot worse. I thought I was bad at the beginning of this year, but I didn't. The way I still see some things, I guess I wasn't. So We got a lot more work to do, baby, but let's get it. I don't know. I got to see. I got a couple of things I need to do. So if I have enough time, we'll do a watch list. But like I'm saying, I think yesterday's was very applicable. You got exposed to a lot of good stuff here today. I have another thing. I don't want to piss you guys off. I'm kind of shocked. I knew this was the effect, but I didn't know it was because of the FHA. I don't know if you guys want to see this. I just saw it while I was taking a piss. Are you ready? This one's bad, bro. Are you ready? In the last couple years, even right before Joe Biden left office, this is maybe why your boy was going hard on mortgage fraud. Oh, you don't want to know, bro. You don't want to know. I think you have had 3 times as many people, immigrants that are not here permanently, that's your FHA loans. I didn't know this. I knew immigrant population affected it, but I didn't know that there was the FHA numbers. So yeah, you had more immigrants than ever take out the highest loans and pay some of the highest prices for real estate. And look at ever since so think about it. I mean, maybe they watched the video then, but it's actually, I did not know this. I did not know it was that. That's insane. Because remember, I've shown you a lot of data, and I've showed you other real estate stuff, and I showed you all the different, mortgages paid off, the percentage, and, we saw the average rates and all that. But yeah, I did not. Yeah, so it's limited to August 2025. And then that's why this year we did pretty much after February. Even then, even after Trump, that was the most amount ever, actually. So there's probably a group of Trump immigrants who are like, fuck yeah, buy a home. But this is different. This isn't immigrants. This is what I was kind of telling my sister because, my parents are immigrants. But this is the people who are either H-1B or just not permanent residents. So the immigrants who came here and are staying, they become permanent residents. So yeah, kind of nuts. Not good for the real estate market. I mean, I would say no, but even if you deport them, I mean, the houses they made a good choice to buy a house. What do you want me to say? I don't think the houses, they could be deported and their house will still remain. You guys know that, right? That's how real estate works. So they bought the house, they got them the loan. If they already let them out, you can't kick them out. You could deport them, but that house is still owned by them if that was allowed. So yeah, I don't know what to tell you, but I just didn't know this. I thought it was more like rent demand and other things, but I did not know I didn't know they were getting FHAs, but I know Cali does that and other places, but yeah. So either way, I hope you listen to me, but we'll be good. No matter what, you will be good. So God bless you. God bless America. Thank you for your time today. I'll see you tonight, maybe not. And then maybe tomorrow, maybe not tomorrow. I don't know. So just as a reminder, if you're banking on my consistency out of pure desire, that's not a good investment. So I hope you just support because you want to, because yeah, man, we'll see what happens. Today was a good day. If you hit them all, you could just go take a vacation for like a year. I meant a month. I meant a day. Whatever. Anyways, but bye. I love you. I love you. It's almost Christmas. I love you. Joshy the F. Finger to the sky. To God be the glory. And through the grace of God alone, He's with you, brother. For real. But believe. Make your choice. That's it. You don't have to do it, dude. No one's making you. But that's it. And you stay away from anything. That's not belief. That's it. You got places for that. We got places for belief. We got places to run it, dog. So I don't take any credit. You shouldn't either. It's God, bro. And let's go, man. I hope you're on His side. I really, really do. It's a good side to be on. And thank you for all of this, Father. Amen. Amen, baby. Amen. 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 Woo! All right, I'll give you one more and then end it.
I told you it was cold. Well, you know, praise God, nephew. First and foremost, all the time. Ay. Whip dirty hair a mess, I do not care. Told them all the truth, they respond like it's not there. Still I do not care, I don't think they see it. Looking for the money, they looking for disagreement. Hit by hit, it's brick by brick. They should've made a move, but they rather move their lips. I just need 4 quarters, it don't have to make sense. Yeah, I wake up every morning like I still pay the rent. That's early. Get your cake up, don't playing weight up. Gotta hit the layups. If you really about the mission, you don't even gotta say it. You can talk it or you live it, only one of them is paying. I respect the OnlyFans, hold more than the hater. It's how you got time to talk shit but no paper. Bro, you not hard, you got trouble trying to wake up. Bunch of wicked servants always telling you to save it. Grateful that hoe say it's better if you waste it. Everybody's cooking, but success is always tasted. Why you keep on looking if you tell me that you hate it? Why you keep on looking, I'ma go and fucking take it. Now you know exactly why I would call them cucks. I just made another stocker and I made $1 million bucks. You don't gotta give me shot, I just bought myself a truck and another career, so I pull my fingers up. Want your money, they will lie for that shit. We want the truth, we will die for that bitch. You ain't ride, you ain't buy on the dip, so don't ask me if it's time right after I doubled it. A fake bitch never got along with me. Can't long form, not authentically. Can't top, bro, it's time to get busy. Bottom tick, top tick, so quick they get busy. Tell a bitch I know a bit about a slow jam, but you ain't in the whip. Why you telling me to slow down? Worry about your shit, I'll do the same. Can I go now? I'm just playing, don't ask permission from these hoes now. Go and tell the whole town, not afraid to throw down. Brought God to the showdown, he told me to bring no rounds. So if you kill me or I kill you, that just means it's his plan. I am scared of myself, I'm not scared of a stand. It's my life, grateful it's original. You a bitch, I don't have to use subliminals. They tell me sorry, but also knew I forgive them though. Reminds me of the times when I knew I was spiritual. Too afraid to say that I believe in Christ. I knew I found a treasure, but was scared to lose my life. Ironically, I do that every single time I'm right. They warned and we ignore until we feel it, that's life. Lie always make you think twice. Buyer call it worthless, then he brag about the price. Born named certain, found a thing called the dice. He could do anything, even catch a knife. He came up with the plan, it'll work, he'll do it right. His diligence was due when his stops were all tight. The plan was all perfect, success was in sight. He was ready for the day, but he died that night.